God, it's so late, but it's also so early. How are we doing, everyone? How are we doing? Half an hour until the show begins, the show proper. We've got some time to kill. What's going on? I've just realised I have not checked to see whether my alerts work or not. And I don't know if Doreen is currently active. I should have done that beforehand. But I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. I made a miscalculation this time round, right? I miscalculated this time. I fully fell asleep. Normally, before these things, I stay up a bit later, I have a little bit of a nap, and then I you know, I show up and I start streaming. This time round, okay, alright, member alerts are on. That's good. We know member alerts work. That's fine. We don't know if Doreen works, but we do know that member alerts work, so that's excellent. 21 months, Synergy, what a legend. Jason, 10 months, absolute hero. Yeah, I fully fell asleep, gang. I fell asleep. Completely asleep. Which meant that my alarm went off at like 1:15, just in case I wasn't awake at the time. But no, I was dead to the world. So I when you wake up and you're just super groggy because you've actually been properly asleep. I'm like that. I'm not actually properly with it yet. Yeah, well, I think actually the video earlier, the ship video, I've got two different hairstyles and colours in that video. As you do. Why not? Why not mess with it? Anyway.
Alert.
Yes, Doreen's awake. Amazing. Brilliant. Did you lot hear Doreen? I heard Doreen. Doreen spoke softly and sweetly into my ear and said, alert. Did you hear her? Thank you very much, Jason. Taking the hit for the team. Waking Doreen up. She's alive. She lives. Yeah, it's quite a me heavy day, to be honest. It's a very me heavy day. It's just ridiculous. A half an hour long hobby video, and then this stream. It feels like maybe there's too much me. I'm not complaining though. It's been quite a fun week for recording. The Adepticon Ridiculous was really fun. Then recording that like Trench Crusade models video was really fun. And then making the ship video was really fun, although that was mostly done last week. It was just little bits that I did today. But still. That is true, yeah. Technically the other two were yesterday. we are on the 27th now. We are like the day after, which it just doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like time has moved on enough. Anyway, I said hello. Sound off so I can say hello properly. Who have we got? I know we've got people that showed up before the stream started. Dunrat showed up like hours before this because he wasn't going to make it and dropped 5 memberships, which is incredibly generous. How long till Adepticon? 24 minutes. I like showing up a little bit early. I realised that last time I think I showed up 15 minutes early. I think I went a bit ambitious with a half an hour job this time, but you know. I'm assuming everyone, by the way, is doing this. That you spoiled for choice. In which case, choosing this stream, thank you very much. Thank you. So hello Sir Taco, hello Rothana, hello Mectoplasm, hello Dead Silverborn, hello Guy, hello Molly, hello Christopher, hello Virgil, hello Sam, hello Titanium Lakeman, hello Robin, hello Orion, hello Mugs of Doom. Oh, thank you very much, Bloody Shirt Music. I've read the comments on that video multiple times, but I keep struggling to respond because I get a bit overwhelmed by how nice and understanding everyone's being. Like, I'm doing a lot better than I was, like a lot better than I was, but I'm still a little bit like, it's a little bit raw, I guess. You're here to chew ass and kick bubblegum and you're all out of ass? That sounds about right, Synergy. Hello, Michael, Salahan and Molly. I already said Molly, but it's fine, you get two. I'm not stingy. Hello, Apostle and Tarsky. I eat mice? Took me a second. Hello, short attention span. It has not happened yet, Jared, no. You got 22 minutes. Also, it said on the thing, it was like twitch.tv/whatever. Does that mean it's not going to be on the superior platform that is YouTube? And I only say superior because I just innately don't get ads on YouTube. Whereas I do on Twitch. Do I need to give them my Amazon Prime sub so that we don't get adverts during the stream? I feel like I do, don't I? I feel like I do. I'm doing well, thank you, Archeon. Hello, Adam. I feel like I should put the little graphic up on the screen so that we know when it starts. Yeah, that's the other thing, right? What do we think when they say it's live? Is it actually going to be live? Because I'm pretty sure in previous ones they've used the wording of like, join us live, and it's like, it's not actually been live, obviously. What was the one before this? The one before this was the Las Vegas Open, right? So let's have a quick look. So LVO preview 2025. Let's find the announcement article. Okay, Las Vegas Open. No, 2020. Wait, where's the 2025 announcement? I've got all the reveals, but I can't see the article showing the announcement for that one. I can only find the one showing the announcement for 2024. That might work anyway. So you can join us for the next massive Warhammer preview. Yeah, I mean, technically they didn't say live, and they said online. Whereas this one is the Adepticon preview show. The wording is different, isn't it? The wording's different, gang. Huh. That's very interesting. That's super interesting. Oh, thank you very much, Barakai Rain. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm... It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how it does. Or, like, I feel like they got into a decent swing of things.
Given the choice of you doing videos and you keeping yourself healthy, I chose you taking care of yourself every time. I'm glad you're feeling better.
Thank you very much, Kyle. Yeah, no, I'm doing way better. It's not difficult, admittedly, but I am doing a lot better. I kind of wanted to let you all know what was going on before. Like, while it was happening, but it took so long for me to actually cotton on to what was going on. And then by the time I was like, okay, this is really a problem, sometimes it's a bit too much. Like, it's just a bit overwhelming, and it's really difficult to actually talk about it until after you've got past the worst of it. And that was definitely one of those ones where it's like, by the time I felt capable of addressing it properly, it had mostly been and gone, which is like its own little source of frustration. But I am good, thank you, Alpha. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that we get. There's going to be stuff for the new codexes for Chaos, right? We know those are the next. Is it the next 3 that are up, are the Chaos ones? I'd like to see like a second wave for like World Eaters, for instance, but I don't know how likely that is. I'm not sure. It'd be nice, and there was that big drill thing. You know what? Let's get that up, because this was a whole article. I mean, it is Rumour Engine, which they tend to do that anyway, but this is the most blatant, like, we clearly know what this is. So, please tell me this is set. Oh, it is. Nice. Excellent. Like, that's clearly a drill claw thing from a knight of some kind. And looking at it, looking at the little spiky bits and the shape of the claws, most likely that's a Chaos Knight. I would be amazed if it was anything else. Like, that's just, for me at least, that's just what that is. I could be totally wrong. And if I am, then it'll be funny, because it'll be like, well, you were very confident about something that you were not correct on. Why am I so far over? Hang on. Let me nudge the camera a little bit, because in the little window I'm all wonky. There we go. But yeah, the other thing is that, right? The other thing is this, which that it heavily reminds me of something, but I don't know if it was a fever dream what I'm thinking of. Votan drill. I mean, it could be a Votan drill. This thing though, it's the transport, the big the termite assault drill, that is much bigger in scale, and it wouldn't have the claw things around the edges. I don't believe, anyway, but I could be totally wrong. Thank you very much, Bloody Shirt Music. Why did Doreen not pick that up? What's going on? Oh, hang on. I don't have alerts and chat on for the for this screen. I do apologise. There we go, it's sorted. But this thing, this bugs me, because I'm sure there used to be like a Forge World terrain piece, but I don't know what it was called. I don't know what it was called. It was like a nest, a brood nest or something. It really bugs me that I can't remember what the hell it was, but it looked relatively similar to this. I just don't know what to search for to find it. If I just search Forge World Tyrannid terrain. Oh, look at that. For bloody 2 days ago, Allspecs Tactics has got a video that... Oh, okay. I think that's just about the new thing. Oh, there's a Reddit thread right here. Forge World Relic, the Tyrannid Brood Nest. So, did I get the name right? Did I? Oh, hell yes. What? How did I remember that? There you go, this thing. This thing right here. That's the wrong thing. There we go. I mean, look at that. Look at that, and then look at that. Same coat. Same coat. Bill Bailey reference. I mean, it looks like that's what it is, right? Tynid Brood Nest. Although, I'll be totally honest, I think the Forge World one looks better. I think the Forge World one looks cooler. It looks more like, I don't know, it looks more gnarly, I guess. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what it is, right? Tynid Brood Nest, but like just not as good. Just not as good. Please don't go to Warcom if you want suspense. Oh dear. Oh, have they done the thing where they put a banner? Hang on. Probably the paint scheme. Yeah, the paint scheme might be something. It's very heavy-handed, that paint scheme, and also the highlights are super chunky for some reason. Okay, let me get Twitch up and running. Now that I've given them my Prime sub. Oh, look at that. That glorious 360p. Oh, love it. Okay, there we go. 1080, thank you. Yeah, no, we're not looking at Warcom then. We're not looking at Warcom. Like, I would quite like to see what the reveals are without seeing what all the reveals are. They've done this before, where it's like, oh, before we show off all these models that we're going to show off in our reveal show, here's all of the all of the stuff to expect. And then you look at it and you're like, well, you've just shown me all the models. Like, I don't know what you're doing. Oh, it is on YouTube as well. Oh, hell yes. Right, well, I mean, I've wasted my Prime sub on them, but that's fine. We'll go for this one. We'll go for the YouTube one. Forge World version gives Lord of the Rings movie Uruk-hai birthing scene vibes. I mean, you're not wrong. Got the 360p Nintendo 64 Lara Croft mohawk. I don't think it's that lacking in stuff. I would hope. I'm alright, thank you, Robin. How are you doing? Who actually goes to Warcom anyway and reveal? Well, I just did, but that was only to look at the stuff that was up before they decided to spoil everything. There's a few things, if you fancy, if you wanted to, if you're able to, don't worry if not, that you can do to like support the channel / stream at 10 to 2 in the morning. There's memberships, those are massively useful because ad revenue is god awful and doesn't make anything anymore. If you want to make Doreen talk, then you can super chat. But the thing that's free, that is also incredibly helpful, is just liking the stream. Because if you like the stream, then other people see the stream, and then they come and watch it. So if you want to do the free option's right there. Single click, super easy. And I'm resisting the urge to go on to Warcom just to see if I can get a good feel as to what everything is. But I'm not doing it. I'm holding out. We shall discover together, properly, in the actual stream. There's a World Eaters player. I'm hoping for more than one model. I mean, it would be lovely to see a second wave for World Eaters. It would be nice to see more Thousand Sun stuff. But I'll be honest with you, gang. You know full well that a lot of the time what they do is they do the Codex, they do a new character, and then that's what they do. And that's it. Now, it would be nice to get more, obviously. It would. but they have form. They have form, you know. They know what they're doing. Ugh. Also, the return of the Giganto bottle. It's incredibly sensible trying to drink this much water when you're going to be going to bed again in like an hour and a half or something. Woke up at 6 and haven't slept yet. That's a terrible idea. Do not recommend. Do not recommend. You know what I should have done? I should have started this at 1 o'clock, but just told you all to watch the ship video.
Got a gifted sub, so I got a pass on the love. Cheers, Chief.
Thank you very much, Titanium Legman. It is very much appreciated. Oh, welcome in, Alpha. Lovely work. Oh. Where's my camera gone? That's just fully gone, isn't it? What's happened here? What was that? Is it the... Alright, is it the power or is it the USB? Oh, I think it might be the power. It is the power. That's rubbish, isn't it? Right, there we go. The power cable's fallen out. Oh, Lil Goth. God, you're alright. Yeah, no, I totally forgot. I didn't say anything on Discord, and I didn't like link on socials either. I'm bad at YouTubing. I'm bad at it. I'm just bad at my job. I'm just bad at this job. Terrible effort. Okay, let's quickly just, you know, put a couple of notifications out, shall we? That we're actually live. I just haven't bothered to say anything. I suppose that, yeah, I'd better do it on X as well. The dog water garbage site that is X. There we go.
Dacanes consume thee.
Oh, thank you very much, Michael. Double dipping is like a next level commitment. Okay, camera's still working. That's good. I think I fixed it. I think the power cable was just falling out. Honestly, same. What does that mean? I don't know. Thank you very much, Tushan. I did like Doreen's pronunciation of darkness. The switching of the letters made it like weirdly. Oh, what's the? It's not Nordic, but like it kind of reminded me of the accents that they use in Vikings and in The Last Kingdom. I couldn't really tell you what those accents are necessarily, but it reminds me of those accents. I've just gone onto my subscriptions page on YouTube, and God bless him. Warhammer preview show Adepticon 2025 on the official Warhammer channel. 3.1 thousand people watching.
Hope you're having a lovely night, Kirioth.
Thank you very much, Craven. Yeah, I'm doing good. So yeah, Warhammer is. Oh my god! Look at this. Look, this is genuinely funny. The official Warhammer channel, 3.1k. Right? Bloody Valrak. Valrak. 3.6. The dude, he has more viewers than the people who are like doing the actual thing. Like, more people are choosing to watch him watch than watch the actual show that's been produced on the channel where it's being made. Now, I don't know what that says, but I feel like it says something. I'm just not sure what it is. Oh, welcome in Short Attention Span Hobbies. Thank you so much for becoming a member. And Sam! Amazing. Amazing work. Oh, is it 10? What? A 10k on Twitch? Good lord. Wow. Okay, I didn't realise it was that much. Jesus. Oh yeah, look at that. 8.6. Oh, well, clearly Twitch is where it's at. For them. I don't know that Ted from No Immersion is doing is doing the Warhammer thing though. Is he? That'd be weird if he was. Cross the streams a bit. Oh no, he's doing his live play. That'll be odd. Isn't it wild though? Isn't it wild? Like, yeah, Thomas, I'm just 3,000 viewers short. We can pump those numbers up, right? Oh, nose blow time. There we go. I've spoken to Valrak a couple of times over the years. He's in my experience and by all accounts, very nice person. I don't really vibe with the like rumor and leak stuff anymore, but yes, Snake Historian, we are steering clear. We're absolutely steering clear of the Warcom page because they apparently have just decided to basically spoil it massively, like every reveal. We're gonna have to be hot on the mute as well. Gonna be hot on the mute because otherwise I'll get slapped with copyright claims on royalty-free music. Oh dear. It happens every time. It happens every time, but it only seems to happen to me. No one else gets hit with copyright claims. So, but every time we stream one of these, I have to sit there and I have to mute it occasionally when they start playing music, or I do get hit with one, or two, or four. So it's just like... Any that I actively avoid, Orion? I don't think so. Like, there's stuff that I just don't vibe with. There's nothing that I'm like, this shouldn't exist. Well, actually, that's not true. But we don't need to get into that now, because they're talking. So still live, but they've gone for the cozy approach. Interesting. You should be able to now hear them. Can you hear them now? I've actually got them up as far as they'll go. And now it's music. Yeah, it is super quiet. It is super quiet. I had the YouTube volume on max. So I don't know what's going on there. They're not coming through at all. Okay, hang on. Let's see if I can sort this.
As well as their arcane journal, which contains all the lore.
Okay, what about that? Can you hear them now?
Regiments, we've got a
Because I can hear them, and OBS says it's coming through.
Stuff.
Yeah, absolutely elite army on the tabletop. These guys are superb at shooting you off the table. Yeah, Alex is absolutely right. What he says there. We've also got the hero here, the Araloth Lord of Telson as well, who's coming alongside the Wood Elves. This guy was a coward in his youth, right?
Yes, he was a cowardly youth, however, having fallen from his horse.
Okay, cool. Sorry about that, guys. I'm not sure what happened there.
He then regained his courage and eventually went on to slay Morga the Corruptor.
I unticked and then ticked a box that was already ticked.
Forces. This guy carries his bird into battle. Scarin the Eye Thief there can be sent across the battlefield to peck the eyes out of your enemies, which is great fun. And of course, alongside the Arcane Journal.
Okay, I'll mute myself now, little guy. My apologies.
Like every other army. A 48-page book dedicated to the Wood Elves with background, rules, historical recreations. You can fight in there. New heroes. We got Orion, King of the Woods, returns, leading his wild hunt on the Armies of Infamy there, as well as
bad picture. Okay, there we go.
There we are. You can take as well.
It's like, oh my god, mine's that model's terrible.
I tell you what, Alex, I'm super excited about the fact that Beast Packs are returning to the Wood Elf realms. You'll be able to field units of Deepwood Hounds, Forest Cats, Sylvan Boars, and even a Bear of Lauren. So you can have a bear running around the Wood Elf army. That sounds great.
Aged all that well, that
so
model.
there we
I'm
are.
be real
You
with
mentioned beasts there. But Wood Elves aren't the only things that are coming to
that
the old world.
Codex,
Beastmen, Brayheads
Arcane Journal,
so
whatever.
Likewise,
that cover goes hard.
Fantastic battalion there, stuffed full of everything you could think of that's a gore or a gorgon.
Absolutely right. Yeah, the Beastmen, of course, a wild force in Warhammer the Old World. Super
Beastmen.
Powerful. Lots of cheap infantry running around all over the table, and some terrifying monsters as well. And there's a brand new miniature coming for them as well. We've seen this
Also,
one before. This is
Bindex.
More Prophet of Ruin. Tell me about this guy. Who is
so the Beastmen love might makes right. However, if you are mystical,
this is especially funny to me because it's the stuff that you could buy for AOS.
See the future, which has allowed him to stay one step ahead of his enemies.
It's just the stuff you could buy for AOS. But now they're like, no, we're re-releasing them.
He's a powerful level 4
What do you mean
wizard,
re-releasing them? They were on
spirit,
sale for
he comes into
years.
battle, can be placed on the
Right
battlefield
before
to
you
cast
went-
devolving magic
not in that
at
system, not
enemies
anymore.
from afar, which is quite good fun. Now, it's worth pointing out both the Wood Elves and the Beastmen are going to have the huge ranges accompanying them. We've just shown you a
Swap
selection
God.
here.
Does
So
actually
don't
look
expect
ahead,
just
Swap
this. There's
God.
loads more coming as well. And of course, we've got the Arcane Journal for the Beastmen Brayherds. Again, big book full
It's true,
of
Sam. The
lore,
Beastmen will not
full
die.
of great maps. You like a map, Alex, you really do. We've got historical recreations of Crawmore taking on some Empire of Men troopers.
It's true. It's true. They've
Units,
swapped the bases out
heroes
in the
there,
boxes,
new magic.
therefore.
You can take a Herdstone for your
new
force as
release.
well. Look, if you're a Beastman fan, you want to get this book. That's great. Now, Alex, people kind of knew that Wood Elves and Beastmen were on the way because they were the last two forces that were going to happen. But there's one force that people might not be expecting, right?
Oh.
Let's take a look.
Oh, well, will you look at that? And it's interesting, isn't it? Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, it is mostly just reusing old stuff, but there is the occasional full-on new thing, like this. As far as I'm aware, did they ever have models, this faction? I'm not hugely familiar with especially like old Warhammer Fantasy, so I don't know if they used to have models or not. I don't think they did they? Now, so far we've got a lot of art. Yeah, Joseph, I've muted it because of the music, because I get done if I don't mute the musical sections. Yeah, so they never did. Okay, just lore. Interesting. Also, a bit of fighting chaos there. Is there a consistent theme of this lot versus chaos? Because that could end up being a box of some kind, couldn't it? Came out in Total War first. Oh, yeah, okay. if there's no models, you can imagine. I mean, I could sort of see him doing it. I could see him doing it. Like a big grand, look at all this artwork. Look at all these things that you will eventually be able to buy in 5 years when we actually finish sculpting them all. I'm risking the music. Okay, you don't need to worry. There's one. Oh, what? Oh no.
That is amazing.
I hate that I'm invested immediately.
Wow.
After watching
They
that.
had a big
What
living
a video.
statue guy.
What a range. Let's talk about it. So, Grand Cathay is here, marching into the old world.
That
Alex,
is sick.
who are Grand
What
Cathay?
the
So
hell?
Grand Cathay is one of the
What?
oldest civilizations in the world of legend. They stood as sort of an eternal bulwark against the evils of the world. It's a land
Oh,
of cities,
look at the-
farms, great mountains, and it's had a sort
mean,
of
look at all of it.
internal stability and harmony. The other
That
nations
that
tend to
is-
be in a level of turmoil because it's ruled by
That is
dragons,
so
namely
nice.
the celestial
Oh,
dragon
God.
emperor himself. And as you can imagine, having an immortal leader.
That's exactly it,
stability
Pluto.
There's
I
such
love me a big
What a
dude.
great
I can't get
idea
enough
and
of a big
concept for a
dude.
force, and it's a very
Show
different
me a
army
big
to anything
dude with a
else
bit
you
of
might see
girth.
in
I'm
Warhammer
all
the Old
over
World.
it.
They are an elite army, heavily armed and heavily armored. Even the basic troops are super elite. There's a mixture of troops, cavalry, war engines, terrifying
Okay, so
monsters.
an elite army.
And we're going to
then.
go through a few of them now because the
Interesting.
battalion box set, which we see here,
They spotted it with the
is
Sentinel in the
quite
banner.
a great scope of
Interesting,
miniatures
okay.
we've got in front of us. And first and foremost, let's talk about the infantry. Alex, the
they
Jade
do look
Warriors, who
good.
are they?
So the Jade Warriors are the
Nice panning
well-equipped
shot.
sort of
Oh, the
core
smoke,
of the
though.
city's army. So they're known as the
Look at
Jade
that, they're
Warriors
getting a bit
because,
of,
that
getting a bit of
stone is sort
SFX
of
in.
sacred to the Dragon Emperor, and
Nice.
it's said to represent sort of the
Oh, thank you
implacable
very
nature
much,
of the
Look Out
Empire.
Toast.
They have pole arms, heavy armor, shields. They're formidable in the attack, but defense is
If you
where
do
their
get given a
strength truly
membership, then
you're absolutely
then
right. And that's
please
reflected
do
in the rules as well. These
shout
guys
out
have a
and
real
thank the
defensive
person
stance
who
where if they
got you
remain
one.
stationary, they can re-roll ones
very
in the
kind of you, Look
combat
Out
phase
Toast,
on
thank
their
you.
saves, which is cool. Really cool thing to point out in this box set as well is that while you can build every single model with lots of different variation, one of the great varieties
they do
in the
look
Jade
good.
Warriors that is every model you can
That's
choose a male
nice.
or a female head as
That's
well. So you can have
nice.
all your Jade Warriors.
Yeah,
can
you've got a
be
drum dude and
female or male,
everything.
up to you, which is really really cool. But they're not just the only
Okay,
thing.
hang
They've
on,
got maybe the anvil of the army is the
We've
Jade
got
Warriors, but let's talk about the Jade
Metalwork,
Lancers,
we've got
the
cloth,
cavalry.
chainmail,
These guys are
Jesus God.
special.
So yeah, if the Jade Warriors are the
Oh,
shield,
d-
these guys are the spear.
Okay,
They're
girl
the knights of
painting,
the
I'm
celestial
right with
host.
you.
They've been forged
They
in
look
battle and
incredible.
drawn from the
I don't
most
want to paint that
disciplined and
shit.
skilled soldiers of the great cities.
So
The
much
wealthier
effort,
cities
it'd be
can
so
raise
bad.
multiple regiments of these
Oh
guys.
my
but
God.
most can manage at least one.
I love
On
the collars.
battlefield,
What are those
basically,
called?
They
What
are
is
able
it?
to charge and annihilate.
What is it, the thing that
enemy.
goes
They
around the
specialise in
neck
sort of
like that?
Getting
Is that
through
still a
narrow
gorget? What is
passages
that?
and alleyways of the cities to
I was going to say
counterattack.
Gambeson, but I think that's something totally
Devastating cavalry,
different.
Alex. On the charge, these guys can fight in an extra rank with their Cathayan lancers, so that makes them
Yeah, the
super
colour scheme's
hitty. And
great.
also, the Cathayan cataphracts rule lets this unit follow up from combat and counters charging next turn. So this
From
unit goes straight
horse.
through units and into the next one. Are absolutely devastating. But
It is a
if you don't want to
gorget,
get
okay.
too close to your opponent like the Jade Lancers do,
I
maybe
wasn't
you
sure
wanna
if a
fancy,
gorget was like a
taking some of the
separate thing,
artillery
whether it was
pieces as
attached
well.
to the
Check these
breastplate,
out.
whether it could
What
just
we
be
got?
its own
So
thing
all
and
along
not.
the Great Bastion, you've got rocket launchers and cannons of all sizes. You know, the rocket launchers
Are absolutely
the fire
superb
ring
voice.
rocket
They
battery
could be
might be a little
great
bit
for,
inaccurate, but they're incredibly deadly,
D&D
launching
guards.
explosives
You
great
only need
distances.
half a squad
So
as well.
this fire rain rocket battery is a portable version
armoured
of the war machine. It's
turtleneck.
created by disciples of the House of Smoke and Powder.
I'm loving the
who
armoured
specialise in the
turtleneck they've got.
manufacturing of gunpowder. You'll notice gunpowder features very heavily with Grand Cathay. So many cannon also exist, but the
I love
foremost
that.
is the Cathayan
That's
Great Cannon. Many of these are
awesome.
forged in Nangao, and they've got that wonderful dragon head shaped on the front. And one of my favourite things about this kit is that ogre loader.
It's just a great character
yes.
piece, isn't it? It is actually an
I'm
upgrade
really
for
liking
the,
these.
for the kit.
I'm
For the
liking these
artillery
a
piece in
lot.
terms of the rules. He helps protect your artillery
compensation
piece with
cannon.
gunpowder bombs. He can help the cannon move faster by lugging
Yeah,
it
the
along.
wispy
Can also,
beards.
it can allow it to
10 out
shoot
of 10
twice
wispy
once per
beards.
game in one phase, which is pretty impressive if you load it super fast. The Grand Cannon you see here does such devastating damage. It has thunderous
I mean,
impact
yeah,
on its
someone's
shots,
gotta make the
slowing
cannons
down
kiss,
enemy
right?
units nearby where the
Yes,
shot
Lewis,
landed.
this is all
And the
tabletop
firing
stuff.
rocket battery
As far as
can
I'm
choose
aware.
multiple different types
might
of
chuck in
ammunition,
a random
depending whether it's going for big targets
game news thing,
or big units.
but-
It can do what it wants. My favourite detail, Harris, I've got to point out on this picture. Check out the guy at the back with the sort of the bamboo rocket who's smoking a pipe right next to the rocket.
Brave.
What a hero! What a hero! Love this
Yeah,
stuff.
okay, I'll give him
but that's
that.
the models that
I
we've
think
seen
that
in
was
the
Nick.
battalion. We've also got some other stuff
guy
as well.
smoking a
This
pipe
is the
next to the
Sky
fuse
Lantern.
is
Tell me about
great.
these.
Yes, so this is a beautiful centerpiece miniature. It's an intricately decorated construction.
Those
of
balloons
paper and
are
silk and held
great.
aloft by a cage.
Again, though, it's so
vermilion
can't like the
warbird, which basically
interior or
burning
like the
wings and forces all
lads
that hot air up
inside.
into it to give it lift. The crew then sit in an
So
armoured gondola and are
complex
able
to
to direct
paint.
it using
Jesus
those sails
Christ.
on the side. It's a wonder of Cathayan ingenuity.
It's gonna be an
With
absolute
Derby up on one
nightmare.
side and Grand Cathay on the other, you'd be hard pressed to see who's the best engineers. Now you can see
There is
in
a
that gondola you've got a
lax
Lord
approach to
Magistrate
health
of
and safety with this
strategists,
lot.
and these are the commanders of cities and the institutions of Grand Cathay.
You know what? We are
They
getting some
tend to
panning
lead
shots.
from the
They
back,
are.
and they can guide from the Sky Lantern.
They
using
are giving
fans
us
and
some
banners.
just nice.
This is great.
Static
The
photos,
magistrate
like-
you see there
This is a good
a
mix.
hero
This is a
choice
good mix,
for the
right?
force, and you can choose to mount
Yeah,
him in
almost
Sky
a
Lantern if you want to.
one-to-one
You can be on
total
foot if you
models.
want to as well, or you can take your Sky Lantern without one of
God,
those
that
inside if
does
you want
look
to as
good.
well. It's a huge, rare, heavy chariot
It's
basically on a
such
new
a-
base
it's
size, which is
such a
quite
cool
cool.
model.
And you can
I love
equip the
that.
gunners on board with an array of gunpowder weapons and bombs,
Oh.
including the actual lantern itself
Oh.
has those huge Sky Lantern bombs underneath it, which are absolutely devastating. One of my favourite rules about this thing is
this
the
is so
Eye of the
bad.
Dragon rule, which
I
lets
have no
Cathayan
need for this.
artillery use this model's
I don't
line of
need any
sight,
of
so the
these.
crew on board are directing
But
the
I
artillery fire
want
for the
some.
rest of the force, which is fantastic. So
Just one thing I want to note on this as well is the transfers.
Yes.
You'll have seen on all the banners these wonderful, intricate symbols, and as
Oh.
well there on the Sky Lantern. Those are all
Steampunk
transfers.
variants, that would be badass.
good. You don't have to be a
Hello,
level
Dirt
4
Hermit, how
brush
you doing?
sorcerer to complete that. So there we go. Fantastic news for Cathayan players.
Give us
That's
new
not the only
Beastman
centerpiece model we've got. Of
sculpts.
course, up next we've
It's-
got the Cathayan
It's
Sentinels.
gonna be rough.
This
The
is
first
look at
time
the
someone
size of
puts
this thing,
Beastmen
Alex. Tell me
down.
more.
These are great
Next to-
animated statues, and
next
if the
to
legend is to be
Cathay.
believed, they were all built by the Dragon Emperor himself many thousands of years ago to combat chaos.
I mean,
Now,
these
the
I am
terracotta
absolutely
sentinels
ending
are
up with at
crafted
least
from
one.
magically charged red earth, and they
And
tend to be
I'm
found along the
absolutely
Great Bastion
ending up with
itself.
at least one of those.
However, sentinels can be found across
The
Grand
sentinels
Cathay,
look insane.
anywhere. They're made
So
of various
good.
stones, so like granite sentinels watch over Sky Pass in the mountains of Morn,
Absolutely.
obsidian sentinels defend the
That
border
is-
against
that
the
is
blood
my
Nagas
sort
of
of thing
Koresh,
right there.
and warpstone sentinels formed from clay infused with warpstone dust sort of watch over the desert roads in the warpstone desert.
I tell you what's really cool as well, depending on which one you go for and how you paint your miniature, they actually get different rules in the
That is
game as well. So
100%
the
my shit.
terracotta sentinel can
it.
regenerate, while the granite sentinel might have a
Absolutely love
better
it.
armor save, and the warpstone sentinel is going
You haven't
to
missed much,
sort of
Dirt Hermit.
really
Wood
badly
elves are back. Beastmen are
affect
back
the nearby
again.
enemy troops, decreasing
With
their
nothing
toughness,
new by
which
the
is
look of
really
things.
horrible.
It's just exactly the same
These
stuff they
things
had
are huge,
before AOS, during
rare
AOS, and
behemoths,
now
and they
in
are just great
Old
fun.
World.
You
And
definitely
we've
wanna have
got
one in your
Cathay.
force. But let's have a look at another centerpiece model here, the
And
Shigengan Lord
Cathay
on the
looks
Great
insane.
Longmar.
So yeah, these guys
And
tend
I'm
to be the
assuming these are
descendants
all
of the
plastic,
Celestial
right?
Dragon, or dragon-blooded. They're natural sorcerers. They're just as skilled at wielding the elemental winds as
I mean,
they are
those
with the
sentinels
blade.
will take
They're
dry
gifted
brushing
with
like
weapons and armor from the
absolute
forges
champs.
of Wei
It'll look
Jin,
great.
and they fight from the front. These guys are no slouches in combat.
Absolutely not, and they're basically warrior wizards.
I'm like
so
trying
these,
to
models can be a
discern
hero or a
what's
lord
gonna be
choice,
plastic and what's gonna be
depending on which one you
resin
go
based
for.
off
It could
the
be a
pictures.
level 1 wizard or a level 2 wizard.
It's a
Those can all
fool's
be
errand,
increased. So you
but-
could have a level 4 Shigengan Lord if you wanted to, all flying around in this beautifully
obviously Sentinel's
sculpted
plastic,
Longmar flying
main troops
beast.
plastic,
Just a
cavalry
wonderful
plastic.
sort of both warrior and wizard general to lead your
Would
force.
they
and a
bother
stunning centerpiece
doing
model too.
the,
but other
like,
choices for your heroes include
leaders,
the
the
Gate
HQs,
Masters
the
of the
characters in
Celestial
resin?
Cities.
So these are the leaders of
If
the
they
Jade
could just do
Warriors.
them in
They earned
plastic,
their
is the
position through
question.
skill and experience, and they must have served for at least
know?
a decade.
Or,
And they're the
like, what would be the
masters of
point?
defensive warfare and
I think
discipline.
it might all just be plastic.
Absolutely
isn't
right.
it?
They're battle-hardened veteran leaders for your forces. Again, they could be heroes or or lords.
That armor
You
on
get
that
2
horse
in the
looks
box, enough to
solid,
make a
by the
fighters
way.
if you want to, including all the bits to make a battle standard bearer. And you can
absolutely
thank the
solid.
Dragon Emperor for the fact that that is a transfer there, so you don't have to hand paint that yourself. These guys are wonderful leaders to have in your force to direct your models
yeah,
in
the
play.
dragons
Now,
are
of course,
yeah, they could
alongside
be.
this, we are going to see the Grand Cathay Arcane Journal as well.
Indeed, so this has got the history of Grand Cathay,
I'd
the
really
Celestial
be
Dragon
interested
Emperor,
to see
including
if
lots of
there's
little
any
bits
sort
of
of split,
information
whether
that
it's
you might
just-
not
whether
know,
it's just
such as
like,
that it was the
hey,
Dragon Emperor who
here you go.
shared gunpowder with the Sky Titans,
Plastic all round.
and a long and storied friendship with Nehekara,
Because they
until
must
events
know
that we
that
will
that
not
would
mention.
appeal to more
It's got
people,
the
right?
philosophy of Grand Cathay, the armies, the formation of the Great
Lower
Warpstone
price,
Desert,
easier to get
trade,
hold of,
exploration. There's a
reinforces
bit
the
of a
fact it's a
focus on the
completely new
armies of
force
Nan
in
Giao here.
the old world
and it
where
was
there's a bunch
that's
of
the
resin
anchor
knocking
at the
around.
western end of the Great Bastion. It's also got a lot on the
Oh,
Feng
welcome
Shui
in, Andrew.
sorcery, which sees the winds of magic split into two, yin and yang. Yang mages study control of the winds of magic, producing bright and vibrant spells, whilst Yin is darker and more dangerous.
Both new magic laws which you can take for your
That is some
wizards inside the
excellent
Arcane
cover
Journal
art
as
as
well.
well.
This Arcane Journal
I
is
really
a bit
like the
unusual. It's
shields.
not maybe like the other
wasn't
Arcane
sure
Journal
at
films
first,
we've
but now
seen.
I'm
It's more
starting
of a
to-
sort of standard army list.
They're starting
So
to grow
much
on
like
me.
you see in the Forces of Fantasy or the Ravening Hordes books. But every
really
single model
starting
that's
to grow
coming
on me.
alongside will have their full rules in here, full special rules for the army, unique weapons, magic items, everything you need to field your Grand Cathay army in a game of Warhammer the Old World is in this book. So if you're going to collect an army,
You know what?
need to get yourself a copy of
I'm
this
surprised
book
they
as well.
haven't done.
But that's not
yet.
the only thing. We've got one more thing to show you.
Announced
from
a
this army.
box
Take a look at this.
midstream
Oh,
and
Alex,
then
who is
put it up for
this?
sale
This
at the
is
same
Miao
time.
Ying, the commander of the
That
armies
is
of the Great
insane.
Bastion, ruler of northern Cathay from her seat of power in Nangao. So for centuries,
is
she's
just
fought against
an
the servants of the
incredible
dark
model.
gods, hobgoblins, barbarians,
That
you
is a-
name it.
that
She was
is
assigned
so
to her position by the celestial dragon himself, and
Oh.
often considered the favourite amongst her siblings due to the power she wields and duties she bears. And
I
she's
love the
somewhat
way that
aware of
they've
it. She's
raised
forever
it.
dealing with the lords of Nangao because even when you are a dragon, politics and
rocks.
scheming never,
Like
never escape.
that,
Now, I'm right in thinking
That
Mao
is
Ying's
some
form is as a
genius
dragon, and
Yes.
sculpting.
sometimes she can transform herself into the human form to I guess, less terrify her troops. as
They've
well.
properly
What's
managed
important
to
as well,
make
I mean,
it
look at
feel
that
like-
beautiful miniature,
like-
isn't it? I think it's
like
important to
she's
say as well
floating.
that model
That
we've
is
just seen,
so
Dragon,
good.
Mao Ying here, and all the models we've seen in this entire range are all plastic,
Exactly,
which is
Lilgoth.
fantastic
I
news.
want that.
So it's going to be much
I want
easier
that
to
real
make
bad.
your miniatures.
Purely
Mao Ying is a
because of
powerful wizard.
how
She can transform herself from a
awesome
dragon
she
to a
looks.
human whenever she wants to. And she's a supreme matriarch of the Nangao, and so she can promote warriors around
man.
her to be
Come
her
on.
celestial dragon guard.
This is a
making it
strong
better and better
start.
as well. Just
This
a
is
stunning centerpiece
This is a
model for your army.
strong start.
That whole collection is just incredible.
The intricacy, the detail,
All
is
plastic.
beautiful.
Yeah, there we go. That is Grand
Hell yes.
Cathay coming
Oh my
soon.
God, I
for
need
Warhammer
the
Old
dragon.
World.
I
A very
need-
exciting release. And yeah, you guys
Place it.
weren't sure if we were going to show
Place
you
it
everything.
into my hands.
We just have. So there we go. Exciting stuff. We've got
require-
a bit of time now to go over
I
to
require
Question
the
Corner.
thing,
Ed, what's
please.
the chat talking about at the moment?
Well, first off, I would like to shout out a few of the locations people talked about earlier. We've got people from all over the UK,
Absolutely
loads of
solid.
states being listed
What a
across the US and
start.
Canada, Paris, Australia, Norway, all over
They
the world.
really,
It's
they
fantastic.
really buried the
I do
lead
have some
with
old world
the
related
Wood Elves
questions
and
that
then the
I've got to
Beastmen.
though.
I was
And
like,
how much
no,
of the
wow,
release is
this
invented?
is not,
It's a
this is
big
not that
one, so
exciting.
I'll
Come on,
Well, everything we've just seen is plastic.
rough beginning when it's
There we go.
2 o'clock in the morning.
That's it.
But no,
If there's other models
No.
coming in the future that we haven't seen, we don't know about at the moment. We don't know. But everything we've just seen is entirely
World has
plastic.
already won
multi-part
Adepticon.
miniatures, loads of different options you can put on your miniatures. So there we go.
I mean,
how cool's that,
it's,
right?
it's gonna have to be
Pretty
good.
cool.
Next up, are
Ransom,
those
all you
tabletop
missed
models
was
the biggest models
Beastmen
in
coming
Old
back
World?
again, and some Wood Elves.
Might do, you know.
They might be.
Might be.
The Sky
Nothing
Lantern is huge.
New for
Yeah,
those,
Sky
just
Lantern stands
re-releases.
really tall.
Because
That
it's on
ties
a
in. And then
brand new
Cathay.
base as well.
They-
and then on
they
a flying
really-
stand.
they
And
really
then
like-
that balloon on top of it. So at least
They
price-wise,
escalated
I think the Sky Lantern
real-
takes it.
Well, you've in fact
real
just answered
well.
my next question, which was, is the Sky Lantern attached to its base purely from the plastic parts? No, it's got the flying stand. Okay, final question then. Who are Cathay's
You know
biggest
what? I
rivals
think
in the old world?
this so far, this is a
Ooh,
decent
They don't
balance
have a
actually.
rival.
They've got like the
No,
production
Arguably,
feel of
they're
the pre-recorded
amongst the
stuff,
oldest and most
but the
powerful
direct
kingdoms in
interaction
the old
with
world.
the chat,
But they particularly
like with the
hate
community,
chaos,
Oh,
right?
they absolutely
makes it
loathe
feel
chaos.
Okay.
less.
So if you wanted to have if there was
It
a
makes it
rival,
feel
if
less
there was something that
corporate.
stood up anywhere near to the force of the
I mean,
Cathay,
it
would be
is
Warriors
corporate.
Force.
It's literally a
Okay,
corporate
fair enough.
broadcast,
Cool.
but like
Anything else, Ed? Any more in the
it
chat for now?
doesn't feel.
Lots of questions
It
I think
feels
might
like
get
a
answered
bit
later
more.
on as we go on. Actually.
Fair enough. In that case, we'll move
bit
on
more
to the
grounded.
next segment of our show.
You know what I mean?
And it's time to move on from the old world and take a look at what's going on in Kill Team.
Just in case, because I don't want to get wrecked for copyright again. Okay, Underseer Zeta, right? Unresponsive. Again, same. Bit of archaeotech recovery. Imperative, nice. It's a fun build-up. It's a fun build-up. Okay, there's a flamer there. Are we on proper... Yeah, we are. Downsphere is cool. Okay, yeah, Tyrannus for Kill Team. I mean, we kind of thought that might be.
Next release coming for Kill
That makes a
Team.
lot of sense.
And it's extremely exciting. We have got a big box here full of
We've already
loads of
seen the
miniatures
Brood,
and
the
the
Tyranid
much
Brood
asked for,
nest, so-
much waited for Tyranid-specific kill team is here in the form of the Raveners. First of all, before we go any further,
Does
very quickly,
everyone have
Alex, where is type
a
and
kill
set
team
and who are the
now?
combatants?
So we are still on Volcus,
suppose
we're in High
I'd
Basilicus, the
make-
Grey
I'd
Gun
make
is
now
fired,
have a kill
and when
team.
it does fire, the backdraft sort of levels everything around
Now
it.
the video's
And
out,
one of the
I'm
things that
recovered,
sometimes
Hermit.
happens is that
Now
sinkholes
it's out,
open,
I'm feeling
and when
good
they
again.
do, that allows access below the Great Gun. And so what happens is the Adepticon
the-
Mechanicus
what?
send out these teams of sacrificial servitors to go and find some of the archaeological bits that are
That tech
hidden down
priest
there.
has got
When they've done so, they've awoken some Raveners.
one
So
of
dear,
the
you don't wanna
sentinels
wake
from the
Raveners, that's the
Matrix
worst thing to
strapped
do.
to his back.
Because in this box we have the new Raveners kill team.
gonna say,
5
new
miniatures in
Raveners.
the Raveners kill team. You'll also notice there are some Hormigants in the background here too, but we'll talk about the Hormigants in just a second.
New
But
Raveners
the
is
Raveners
fun.
kill team is 5 models, and you can make quite different versions here. You could make them onto Ravener Warriors if you wanted to, as you see in 40k, but you can also make a Prime, as much as other things we're going to go over in a second. Alex, Raveners are powerful and terrifying, right?
Indeed, they're
okay.
powerful, live, driven by an all-consuming hunger. Reports say that
Overall
sometimes they
nice.
can be deposited on a planet,
Overall
they burrow
pretty
through
cool.
concrete, armor, flesh, all with the same level of ease, and they can basically
not sure
hang
about
out
that
for
big
years,
crest
if not
on the head.
decades. And that seems to be what's happened here on Volcus.
I'm not sure about that.
As you mentioned, these can be built into several different sub-varieties. So you've got the Prime, who's a nodal hub for the brood and coordinates the rest of them. The Felltalon, with claws that pump toxins
might
that
grow
can
on me.
retract. The Venom Spitter that,
They
as
do
you can
look
probably guess,
there
spits
is a
venom.
little bit
Makes
of like
sense, yeah.
The Wrecker, which is a
mouse
heavily
strain to
muscled
it.
armoured
What
version which
the-
can break through into bunkers. My favourite, the Tremor Scythe. It's got a hypersensory array to detect
one with all the
vibrations and
lumps.
chemical signatures
on
like
earth
fear.
is
And
going
as you
on with
said,
some of these
the
heads?
rest can be warriors.
Now, if you've ever played Space Marine 2, you'll have come across the
So-
Raveners in there, and
Oh,
they
yes.
burrow through the
There's a
ground.
Fell
And it's like
Talon,
just so difficult to
there's
deal
a
with,
Prime,
and that comes through in
Tremor
Kill Team as
Scythe.
well. They actually have a rule where you draw a tunnel as the game continues,
Okay.
and your warriors and your Raveners can just pop in or pop out of that tunnel as the game continues,
I'm
really
not
confusing your
sure
foes.
about
If I tell Kill Team players these guys have an
some of the
APL of 3
protuberances on the
apiece,
heads.
that makes them super good, and they can all fight
Venom
twice in
Spitter is
activation,
gross.
which is terrifying too.
The Wrecker
yeah,
is
absolutely
very fun.
monstrous foes. Only I think 5 models is one of the smallest kill teams.
Overall,
but they
bodies
are
really
they are
like.
tough.
Faces
Real
are
big and
pretty
tough.
cool across
Lots
all
of
of them.
wounds, lots of APL. Be terrified. Maybe not
just
quite as
a
terrifying,
couple
but
of them-
pretty cool as well. The battle
of them I'm not
clades coming
sure on the
alongside
extras.
them in the box set. These are an Adeptus Mechanicus kill team, and someone in the chat earlier on said, "I'd give my soul for an Adeptus Mechanicus kill team." We're going to send Slanesh knocking on your door anytime soon. But Alex, tell us about
Shout out to
tell us
the
about these
guy
guys.
So these are led by
demanding an
techno-archaeologists who
Adeptus-
specialise in
Adeptus
hunting down
Mechanicus
arcana
kill
and
team in
exotic
exchange for
resources.
soul, only for this to
Alongside
do the
them,
next
they've
thing
got
they
the
show
Servitor
off. That's really
Runtus,
funny.
that guy that seems to be floating there.
You know what? I
Basically, these
think
guys
that is part
specialise
of
in
it, synergy.
reprogramming
They
and
do look a little bit
controlling
malstrained,
services,
but
translating the mission
not
into
fully.
complex subroutines suitable for their charges. But they can be a bit enthusiastic about the acquisition of more servitors. So if you do happen to have one of these
I
guys
do like
float
the
by,
Mechanicus. The
be careful
Mechanicus
they
are
don't steal
weird.
them. So alongside
Like,
them,
that-
you've got a whole
that
host
guy
of
that
various
does seem to
servitors. You
just
can
have
have
a
gun
sentinel
servitors
from
with
the
servo
Matrix
stabilizers,
strapped
and
to
even
his spine.
techno-medics,
That
which
is
is a
a fun
rare
model.
willingness to heal the
The
fleshy
servitors are
parts
cool
of
as well.
servitors.
It's nice to have
because
new
if you are on
servitor
a mission
models.
far from the forge,
more
you
servitor
know,
models.
sometimes needs must.
Needs must, right? Absolutely right. What's quite cool
Nice
on tabletop,
variety
these
of them as
guys
well.
have a rule called the Noospheric Network, where they can transfer power from one
Good mix
server
of,
to
like,
another.
heavy
One maybe
weapons
shuts down
and-
and transferring as an APL over to another one, which is really good fun. Different
Got a mix
services
like
have
close
different rules. We've got the
combat as
breacher
well,
services, you can knock holes
I
through
think.
walls,
Yeah, we've got a
and
few
the gun
claws.
services and
Well,
combat
mind you, they've
services
all got
carry a
claw.
huge array of exotic weaponry, including a heavy arc rifle,
Yeah.
incendiing igniters, and phosphor blasters, which all sound terrifying. Great
I
fun.
mean, to be fair,
Now, coming
everything
alongside those
feels-
two kill teams
every-
in the
a-
box
any
is the
model is a
dossier, of course,
Necromunda
which is
model.
where you would find the full rules for
any
both
model
the
is
kill
an
teams,
Necromunda
but
model.
also has really loads of extra stuff in there as well. You see all the tokens and things, the cards that come in the box.
Typhon
Inside the
dossier.
dossier, you'll
That
find
sounds like could be a
joint
spy
ops
novel.
and adversary ops mission packs in here as well.
Not
The joint
necessarily
ops
a
is
good
really
one.
good fun. That's where the Hormigants and the Rippers that you get in the box that come into play as well, because there is a tree
Okay.
campaign for playing through the
Hormigants.
narrative of the Tyranid invasion on High
But those are
Basilicus,
just
and
standard
the
ones by the
Hormigants
look
are
of
your
it. We've got a
NPO,
leapy
non-player
one, another
operatives
leapy
that you
one,
get
yeah.
in there
Okay.
with full data cards and rules for using those to fight against with your friends, which is quite good fun. But also
First
in the
the tall
box,
boy,
people have
now
noticed,
the
we showed
hunch
off on
boy.
Warhammer Community a little while ago,
Getting a
the
full
Tyranid
set.
Infestation Terrain Kill Zone upgrade. Tell me what we've got here.
So you get spore
Okay.
chimneys, capillary
So
towers,
there's a-
gestation
oh, that's
sacs,
fun.
shard spewer growths, underbrood mounds, capillary roots, spore vents,
So
and
there's a
brood
mix
nests.
of different
There's a lot.
Tyranid.
Chimneys and vents
terrain
pump out
pieces, that's
spores.
nice.
Capillary towers act as conduits, so when the Hive fleet arrives, that's
I did like
where
the
they're
big
basically
brain
gonna
thing.
get all the biomatter up from. And gestation sacs, you can probably guess.
Yeah, it's disgusting. It's such great terrain and a really
still
nice
think
way
that
of
old
really adding a lot
brood
of flavour to your kill zone.
thingy
And in standard games, they
brood nest
provide
looked
light
a bit
cover or
better.
heavy cover, as you
But
might
I do,
expect.
I love
but
the
actually, in the
towers.
joint
I
op
love the
missions,
Tyranid,
they're also
like,
used as
like
objective markers for you
the
to investigate or
like, what are they
destroy,
called?
or
Capillary
spawn
towers?
points for Tyranid reinforcements to come out
really
of,
like
which is
those.
terrifying as well. It's just a
Absolutely
beautiful
love
set
those.
of
Those
terrain,
look really
and it's
good.
really nice to see some sort of classic
Very
Tyranid
nice.
terrain from yesteryear made into a plastic set for your battlefield as well. Tyranid players all over the place. You want to get your
I
claws
think maybe the
on
brood
these.
nests.
So there we
just
go.
a
That
bit
is Kill Team
aggressively
Titan
highlighted
coming
for those
very
colours,
soon.
which is what
Got a little
makes-
bit of time
making them
for
look a
some
little bit
questions
less
again
appealing
from
for
the
me,
chat.
but-
Ed, anything else we want to fire our way?
Well, obviously, the big one is for both kill teams.
New Kill Team box
are we
sets have
gonna
been
see
getting
rules
good
for
quality
them
models
in
recently.
40K?
Yeah.
So right now,
I
of
agree
course,
with
we do
that.
have rules for Raveners in the Tyranid Codex already, which you can use. These
The old
models
one
to
looks
represent.
better, but the new
Are we
one
going to
looks
see
like
full rules for
size.
both kill teams in their entirety? Well,
Swings and roundabouts,
we're
isn't
not
it?
sure yet,
The brain,
but keep
yeah,
your
the
eyes
brain
on
looks
One
great.
Community, and there may well be more news coming on those soon.
It's the terrain piece
watch-
leaked
watch
in the
it,
Blood
watch
Angels
Community for that
Codex.
one,
Oh, I missed that. That's funny.
Anything else, Ed?
Yeah, we're getting a lot of questions about the Imperial Knights
Excellent.
Codex and Chaos Knights Codex. Just keep watching. Obviously, when we get to 40k, we'll cover those. Is this part of a high fleet
Come on,
front
chat.
offensive in the lore?
I'm talking not to you guys, but to
So as I mentioned before,
the
basically
official
Raveners,
Warhammer TV
could be
chat.
deposited on a planet
Spamming
well ahead
asking
of
about
the Hive Fleet
40k,
and can stay
as
there
though they're
for
not
years, if
going to
not
get to it
decades.
at some point.
So it could be a precursor to an invasion, but it also might have been, a little offshoot. So we don't yet know.
Fingers crossed it's not a full invasion there, right? For the sake of the Imperium.
Fingers
I
crossed.
do
there is a
like
full
how
invasion.
the plushies get
stay on
prominence
your
on
side,
their
sir.
set as well, by the way.
Anything else, Ed, that we want to go with?
Yeah, final thing about just obviously
all
Raveners
this
for quite some
stuff,
time.
but it's
in
the-
terms of build
it's the
options, are we able to
squishy
see
lads
just,
that
you know,
are up
full
front and
unit normal
centre.
Raveners? Is there an ability to build multiple of each one? Basically, what we're going to do with that kit.
So basically, the kit you can build, you
Teeny
could
tiny
build
Tyranids.
all 5 Raveners as a Ravener warrior, which is essentially the
No
Ravener you can
AOS
see
yet, Shadow.
in a sort of Ravener
I'm not
squad
sure
in
if
the
it's gonna be
40,000
AOS.
game. There's also full rules for Ravener warriors in Kill Team 2. So if you wanted to build 5 Ravener warriors, you could use that as
You're
your
not
Kill
chat,
Team, no
you're the
props at
gang.
all. As for the
That's
other
how that
options, you
works.
get the enough bits to build 1 of each. So 1 Prime, 1 Wrecker, 1. I forgot the names of the other ones. 1 of each of the other ones you can build there as well. So not multiples of those. All right.
Take a thing for
Don't
now.
tease me with
Excellent.
knights.
In that case, it's time to move on now. What we got next?
Indeed, we're heading to the mortal realms.
There we go.
Fight action-packed battles in Shaiish, the realm of death, with the new Warhammer Age of Sigmar Spearhead gaming pack, Sand and Bone.
Okay. So, new season of Spearhead,
Lead your
effectively.
forces to victory in fun, fast-paced games using streamlined rules. Each Spearhead box contains all the miniatures you
Trying to
need
get
to
a
take
glance at
command
the
of a
scenery.
balanced and thematic
Scenery
army,
is-
with rules and
that's from
updates
that
available to
Underworld
download for free online. Obliterate
isn't
your
it?
foes from a distance. Impose a grisly tithe on them.
Oh, okay, so we've
Devour
got-
them whole through gluttony, or shred them with cold-blooded savagery. The
Different
choice is
Spearhead
yours
boxes
with
now.
4 new spearheads. March forth into the realm of death and prepare for battle with Spearhead, Sand and Bone.
I tell you what, I'm 100% in.
Very
for
exciting.
The
So this is Spearhead Sand and Bone. This
See,
is
it's a
basically the
Sigmar
new
one.
expansion for Spearhead with a whole load of new
I'm
and
totally
exciting
in for the
additions.
Say it's a
fighting
Sigmar one.
two
I know it's
areas
just
of the
Spearhead
realm of
boxes,
death.
right,
Double
but-
death.
You love this, don't you?
Yes, so you've got
That's,
Ossia and Dolorum. Basically,
that was a
you've got
good
two
box.
sides of that board.
Because it just
with a
has
whole new set of scenery.
pretty
Now,
much the things that I
notice
want in
here,
it.
we've got the Necropolis, Blood
Objectively,
Delusion,
I don't
Grief,
know if
and
it's a good
Night,
box,
the
but,
5 Mortarchs that we know of.
you know.
And they basically reflect sites of ancient power, dread temples to those Mortarchs, but they're not set out in the
Yeah,
same
more
way
Spearhead
we've seen
is
before.
No,
good.
you're right.
Spearhead's-
It's a nice little
Spearhead's
variation between the
a good
Fire
little
and Jet
game,
previous
to be
games
honest.
as well, to give you really good variation on your
I
games,
like it.
depending on which realm you fight in. You'll also notice that on this board in front of us, the green one here, you've got
pretty sure
one
I've seen this
huge
scenery
objective in the
before.
middle with the
I
other
can't
4
remember where
smaller ones
from.
around it, which makes that central one super important and exciting to play over. And
could
if you look
be
on the
wrong,
top
though.
left of the purple board there, that one's only
feels
got
like a
4
repack of
objectives on
scenery.
it, but 2 of them are super close
could
in the
just be
centre of the
being,
board.
not
There's going to be
very
a big old
generous there.
scrap there as well. Both boards really sort of want you to get into the action and fight, which is great fun. You also notice on the screen as well, And we've got some new terrain features here as well. This is the new mystical terrain that's being added in, which can either be
Lizards riding lizards
set up on the board at the start of the game, or maybe brought in through one of the twists in the game as well. We've got the Crypt of Blood, where your fighters can take an unholy draft and try and best their foes at combat, but at what cost? And the Icon of New Lamia, which is the statue there. You can sort of call upon the veiled promises of the icon, and maybe it will help you, maybe it won't.
That was a
bit of a big risk there, but it's nice to see cool options in here as well as new updated battle tactics and commands and twists and everything to really make you feel like you're playing in the realm of death. So it's a very different experience to Spearhead as it is right now. Great fun, and definitely want to get your hands on. But alongside this box set, we've also got some new spearheads coming as well.
No, that wasn't okay.
So the first one we're going to have a look at
a bit
is
mad.
Ogre Morkind Scrapglut. Now, basically, you're going to have your hunter in the centre with a bunch of Noblars around, as well as those 8 Iron Guts. Now, they pack an absolute punch, don't they?
They really do. They really do. They're terrifying. Don't get anywhere near them. But yeah, a really hitty spearhead, that one there. We've also got the Seraphon Sunblood Prowlers as well. For the Seraphon fans, who are these guys?
Indeed. So these basically have the Hunters of One-Chi. They're able to scoot forward.
That's okay.
And
it's
then
not
you've got
grabbing
that
me, that
big
one.
Blockosaurus warriors, all led by that Sunblood.
I'm not looking at that.
Terrifying
thinking,
in combat. The Hunters of One-Chi definitely go for nipping around and grabbing your battle tactics. But if you don't fancy being quite so mobile, you could instead go for the Cities of Sigmar Fusel Platoon and just shoot people off the table with all your guns and your crossbows.
Indeed, they're a mobile gunnery brigade. Basically, 2 elements. You've got the Wilder Corps that move up the board,
all guns,
and then you've got those 2
time.
units of Free Guild
and the ones who
Fusiliers
don't
that
have
basically form an
guns
impenetrable
got
line up the
crossbows.
bases.
They're even better. They get better on their saves if they remain stationary. But of course, you might score them back tactics by doing that. But I'll tell you what, if you want to go for a smaller, more elite force, take a look at the Ossiarch Bone Reapers Mortarzan Elite. It's just 9 models, but what 9 models they are.
Oh yeah, when we talk about sort of the Ossiarch, we're usually thinking about rank after rank of formidable troops. But the Mortarzans of the Order of Ossifectors will assemble these kind of cohorts when they want to improve their bone
the guys with wings, the
winged
dudes.
Yeah, there's not a model there that hasn't got
assembling
at least
them is garbage,
and most of them have a 3+ save as well. So these guys are tough. There's not many of them, so good luck trying to score your battle tactics with those guys, because you're going to have to really think about how you do it. As a tactician might have to with the Ossiarch Bone Reapers.
Now, that's not all there is for the Age of Sigmar. We've got the Scourge of Gairan. Now, this is an exciting new seasonal event building up to the launch of the General's Handbook in summer.
It's like playing
on the run-up to that release, there's going to be daily articles on Warhammer Community with short stories in video form, along with new rules updates. These could be Regiments of Renown, battle formations, enhancement, but every faction is getting at least one updated War Scroll card for an existing unit.
That's right, and they're going to be match play legal from the release of the new General's Handbook, which is going to be the climax of the Scourge of Gairan season. We see that new General's Handbook arrive. It's that time of year. Here it is. And the difference here with the General's Handbook this time round is, rather than just being a book, it's actually a complete box inside which is your 72-page book. You've got your battle plan and battle tactics cards. There's manifestation and War Scroll cards as well. We've got the 6 objective markers in there.
It's been riding high for a while.
For the Warhammer Age of Sigmar General, which you want to get your hands on. Tell me where we are for this.
So this is War in the Chamber. Gairan is sometimes considered sort of a place of abundance, with Hammerhall Gaira being the breadbasket of Sigmar's domain. However, the realm of life is rife with disease, hellish mires, mercurial forest spirits, monstrous insects, rapidly changing seasons. Nowhere is safe.
That sounds awful. Sounds like a perfect place to have your battles of Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Now, in terms of how the rules are going to change for this season, well, we're not going to tell you too much right now.
I demand.
In fact, we're going to ask you to just go back to the Warhammer Community website. In the future, there'll be some hints here and there and some build-up over the Scourge of Gairan to find out what's in the General Handbook.
AOS usually
Keep your eyes
steals
on the
these
Warhammer
previews,
Community website.
so let them take it on this one
as well. With that done, it's time to take a few more questions from the chat. Ed, what are folks saying out there in the world of Chatland?
Let me guess.
Okay, I've combined a couple into one here, which is Fire and Jade still going to be supported?
The folks are
and
probably saying,
will
where's the
Spearhead
40k?
boxes still be allowed to play in the new Spearhead rules?
Just guessing.
100% yes to both. So Fire and Jade is absolutely going to still be available. You can download the rules for free on Warhammer Community already. You can get the rules in the Ultimate Starter set
that's
as
another
well.
thing, by the way.
Sigmar,
That's
will
another
the
thing.
old Spearhead still be usable?
The fact that
absolutely no problem at all. It's an expansion to
do
the
the
game, it's not a
Spearhead rules for
replacement,
free.
so you can use whatever you like to in the game. So just there's more
cool.
ways to play Spearhead, which is great fun for.
I've got plenty
Another
of
great
pork
question.
dog.
One of our viewers has noticed that the Seraphon are led by a unit rather than a single character. How does that work?
The tradition stands, by the way.
Yeah, okay, so yes, you're right.
If someone gives 5 members, then they get
led by units. We saw
then
it
they
first
get
with the Gloomspite Gits.
They get Necromund and Pork.
That Snarl boss on his Snarl Fang. We've also now got the Sunblood pack leading the Seraphon, and the Man Trappers leading the Ogres.
So if you want
well.
Necromund and
Some of them
Pork,
work in a different way. So the Ogres sort of is a hunter with a few tokens around him.
5 members, you get the Necromund and Pork.
And things to put down. Whereas the Sunblood pack, the Saurus, are actually 3 different models. Now they actually only have 3 health apiece, so together they make up a 9 health unit.
I mean,
they're still pretty tough.
It's very rare.
That's how they work. It's actually really nice to see. I'm a big Warhammer Underworlds fan, and it's really nice to see some of the Warhammer Underworlds warbands being brought out and used in Warhammer Age of Sigmar in different ways as well. So it's just really positive.
Be awesome. The 40k section.
We've got a lot of 40k questions still coming through.
Oh well,
next section.
Maybe we'll go on to some 4K later on. But before we do, there's more stuff coming in the future for Warhammer Age of Sigmar. So let's take a look ahead at what's coming in the future.
Oh, okay, here we go.
So, coming now, we've got the Soulblight Gravelords, followed on by that Spearhead expansion, Sand and Bone, and then the General's Handbook.
Taking a look a bit further forwards into the future, we have the Ideneth Deep and the Nighthawks are going to be up very soon with the Blades of Khorne and the Kharadron Overlords floating our way as well.
And
Fish Elves are a little while off.
Further into the future. Ooh,
on the horizon.
I wonder what that could be.
That could be one of. I've got at least 3 things in my mind. But I tell you what, guys, if you're out there, if you've got an idea of what that could be, let us know in the chat, and we'll see what you think.
It's a
work in
progress.
A good one, actually. That could be.
I've
got at least 2 in my mind. It could definitely be. Right, with that done, it's time to take a move forwards into the 41st millennium. And boy, have we got a lot of things to show you for Warhammer 40,000. Let's start off with the chapter approved deck. It's that season. We've seen the General's Handbook already. It's time for the chapter approved deck 2025 to 2026. Now, this season, we're going to see this new deck, which functionally works the same as the current chapter approved deck, but with updates to missions, objectives, and formatting. So, going to be really good for players to get hold of. Crucially here, it actually includes missions specifically written for incursion games, which are 1,000-point games with unique deployment and updated muster rules for smaller games. For example, it's a rule of 2 for 1,000-point games with up to 4 battle lines instead.
Okay, this is fine.
That's going to be quite fun. We can also see on the screen something called Asymmetric War as well, another new format which we've introduced for the chapter approved deck, where attacker and defender have different deployment zones and different aims within the game. So it's a much more unpredictable experience, and it's designed for 2,000 points and above. Instead of secret missions this time round, we've got challenger cards in the chapter approved deck. A challenger is a player trailing by at least 6 victory points who can choose a challenger card or draw one, and these new cards provide a stratagem and a mission. Players can choose to complete the mission or use the stratagem, but not both. So similar mechanic to Spearhead if you guys have ever played that before. So nice little way of getting that player back into the game. And crucially here, this deck is designed to have lots of different ways to play 140,000 match play, to give you real replayability in your games and to make your games much more exciting and fun when you play them. So there's lots.
This is the kind of thing that
we don't actually have repeat missions, which is
fine.
really cool. So there we go. That's the chapter approved deck coming real soon. Make sure you get your hands on one of those when it drops.
However, that's not all that's coming for Warhammer 40,000. We've also got the World Eaters.
Here we go.
Another game of 40k.
So they're coming with the Gorestorm Slaughter Force, including a whole host of 8-bound jackals, as well as the Slaughterbound, that brand new hero. So this guy, where 8-bound has
so we've got a new
demons trapped within him, is basically taken on a bloodthirster that's given him exceptional strength. Along with them, they've got their brand new Codex. Within that is obviously going to be all of the rules and background for the 12th Legion, the Scalathrax, all the warbands and characters, as well as the Red Angel's Gate, where Angron first manifested on Armageddon.
You're absolutely right. We've got a Slaughterbound. This is the new hero who's going to be coming into play for the World Eaters. A monstrous hero who can lead 8-bound or exalted 8-bound into battle and is so angry, Alex, that he rages at them and returns slain models to life. Which is
so
terrifying.
Angry you can't die.
So absolutely right. The Codex is coming as well, of course, including 5 new detachments. You can include Khornate demons in your army, much like the Emperor's Children. You can include Slaneshi demons in the army. And one of the detachments is the Khorne Demonkin, where you can use an enhancement to have a Lord on a Juggernaut leading Blood Crushers and Fleshhounds as a unit, which is just great fun.
We know that's how they do it with a lot of the Codexes. They just go.
Well, we've got a little something to say, and it's over to Ed.
It could be worse.
Yeah.
Remember?
So, Karanak, should be in the
when
Codex Demons
Admech
Index.
got
He's not.
a guy on
we know that everyone wants
stilts.
it, so have
Is
no
there
fear.
one dude?
He will be back.
At
when
least your
Volbeater's
dude's
Codex
pretty
comes
cool.
Out, be both in that and also in an updated index at the same time.
Oh, Karanak.
There we
Interesting.
go. Good news for
He got
you,
kicked out
Corn
of the
Demon
Demons
fans.
Codex, am I
Our
right?
apologies, guys.
Didn't he get moved into
We're going to
Legends?
fix that mistake when that book drops. So thanks for that patience on that one. But right, keeping on the Chaos theme, what else is coming?
But was it
We're going
for
to see
Demons?
the Death Guard.
It was something like that.
So the Death Guard, likewise, have the Pox-wrought Vector Battle Force with a Fetid Blight Drone, Lord of Poxes, Plague Burst
Okay.
Crawler, Blight Lord
Well, we already know
Terminators,
about
Plague
that
Marines,
character,
a whole
so
host
what
of
are they?
disease-ridden bodies, along with the Lord of Poxes. So these are the masters of airborne contagion, constantly pumping
Yeah,
out
we've
a
seen
foul,
this guy
fetid
already.
smog with that miasmic turbine on his
making a
back. And it
comeback
acts
after
both
Fannel Crawl.
screen near advance
Good.
and as a weapon.
Good.
Yeah, it's horrible, that thing on his back as well. He basically doesn't let enemies too far away from him see him at all. That gigantic sword on his back
Karanak
is
is
a
too
great
hardcore to
plague
be-
blade. And let me tell
to
you
be
when I
got
say it's one of
rid
the
of.
most powerful combat weapons in 40k. It's great. Again, the Codex includes lots of detachments. We can have Nurgle demons in the book. 6 detachments in there, including one that's very demons heavy,
such a
and
good model,
one
though.
that lets you have an unending horde of poxwalkers, just as you'd hope to see, which is
Unending
cool.
horde
And
of
you know what? Let's
Poxwalkers.
round off the unholy triumvirate of chaos.
Look at that.
We've
Look
got
how good that
1,000
model is.
suns.
Yes.
So good.
They've also got the Warp Flame Thrallband Battle Force with a bunch of sorcerers, Scarab Occult Terminators, Rubric Marines, and you can see there at the front those Sector robots. So these are mechanical constructs
Robots.
with features of ancient prospering spirits or tutelary demonic servants.
1,000 sun
and they're
robots.
saturated in sorcerous power,
Yeah.
runes of misdirection and illusion. One of their key features are their psychically controlled bodyguards. They're threaded through with spells of prophecy. So
Is
you can
this
essentially
the least
foresee
amount of
attacks
fanfare
on their
they've ever
master,
done
able
for
to
revealing
jump in the way
something
of bullets
like
or move them out of the way.
They're actually also able to foresee where the enemy's going to be as well, which
Just
allows
like-
this unit
they
to
got
use
robots
the
now.
Overwatch stratagem for
Anyway.
free, which is terrifying, especially when they can be armed with heavy warp flamers, as well as missile
really
racks
cool, don't get me wrong,
and
I
melter
really like
guns.
them.
These things are terrifyingly tough. They actually count as
But
vehicles as well,
they're
which is
just
cool
like-
because one of
there
the
you go,
detachments in the
robots.
1,000 Sun book lets you take loads of vehicles, so you can have a robot heavy force if you want to. Great fun. Of
robot
course, the
heavy
Zinc demons
force.
are in the Codex as well, as you'd expect from these books at this point.
Alright,
And in the
okay,
Crusade
hang on.
section,
A
you can
robot
possibly
heavy
scheme with the
force.
Great Cult in Crusade as well.
They're going to come in
And you're
boxes of
talking
2.
the Codexes.
They're going to come in boxes
We've
of
seen
2,
already the
and they're going to
Emperor's
be
Children
really
having
expensive.
an
And a
absolutely
robot heavy
beautiful
force is going to be
limited edition
unfeasibly
Codex. And you
difficult
know what?
to put together.
We're doing the same for the
because
3 others we're releasing as well. Of course, on
money
the screen you can see the World Eaters. We've
and
got the Death Guard and
supply.
1,000 Suns coming too.
I'm just
These
saying.
books, Alex, are absolutely incredible, aren't they?
They do
yes,
look cool.
these are
They
absolutely
are very
chock full
thin.
of Cool little
They
bits
are
of
very, very
memorabilia,
thin, but
that
that's
limited
still
edition Codex.
still
However,
cool.
they look cool on screen.
They really do.
But in person, physically, they're much better.
Right.
And Ed, you've managed to get your hands on them, haven't you?
Well, yeah, I'm going
It's-
to.
that was such a lacklustre reveal for the
So I
robots
went
as
in and
well.
thought I'd nick them. So we've got this beautiful
It's not-
slipcase.
it's not
that
just
comes
me,
parts,
right?
A nice, almost
It's not
torn
just
cover.
me.
Got 3 parts to each book. We've got the Codex
They were-
itself
it
with
was just
gilt-edged
sort
gold
of like,
pages.
oh,
some
and
really
also
nice
here's
artwork
1,000
in
Suns,
each
and
piece
they've
as
got
well.
a couple of guys.
So every
that are
book's going
robots,
to come
and,
with
yeah, they're
5
pretty
pieces
cool.
of
They're pretty
relevant themed
hardcore,
artwork.
difficult to
to your
kill. You can have
gods.
a whole army of
Those
them. Anyway,
are
look at the
gorgeous.
book.
I've had a cheeky look at them myself. And then we obviously have a large slipcase with
There was a lot of Warhammer
gilt-edged
robots.
data cards, stratagems. We've got our metal tokens for objective markers, and finally we have this really
robots aren't
nice
Space Marines.
solid metal medallion that we can make. And they all
Yeah.
magnetise
Show you
together
more of them, but they're not
for
Space
one
Marines, so
large
we're not
metal
gonna
medallion.
bother.
That is so weighty in hand. I
It
feel
feels like
I wanna
something you've
use
been
this as the
talking about for
objective
ages.
marker instead of the smaller ones.
Like,
somehow.
it genuinely
Can't
feels
help
like
feeling that
people have
completing
been
the
kind of on and
quadrant
off,
there
like,
is, of the medallions live here in the studio
it'd
is
be
going
kinda
to
cool.
summon some sort
I
of
do
bloodthirster.
feel
kind of
like
cool
I've
to have
got
these
power
things that
course
were
in
mentioned
dreams.
in the Horus Heresy.
Maybe it's the
and stuff, and
adrenaline
then-
for getting my hands on all 4 of them.
Then it was just
Those
like,
are absolutely stunning.
you know.
There's going to be a very limited edition. There are going to be only 1,600 copies of each available when they go on release. So if you want one of those,
1,600
or
copies
even
of
all
each
4
of
those,
these?
make sure you get
Good
one
luck.
as soon as you possibly can, because I reckon
Good
they'll be-
luck,
they'll be
collectors.
hot-
Oh, yes.
hot- they'll be selling like
Godspeed to
hotcakes. So there we go. That's the limited edition Chaos Codex is coming very soon. But I've had enough of talking about Chaos Filth. We've got some other cool stuff coming. It's time to go a little bit Imperium, as the Grey Knights are seeing their update here too. Alex, what have we got here?
Indeed, so
I've
this is the
had
Celtic,
enough of looking at
Celtic
chaos.
Conclave Battle Force with the Grandmaster and Nemesis Dread Knight.
3
units of,
codexes worth
Brotherhood
of stuff
Terminators
condensed into
and
maybe
Strike Squads.
3 minutes.
So they're
and
also
then
getting
moving on
their
to
new Codex,
Grey
chock full of,
Knights, who,
chock
by
full
the
of all
look of
background,
things,
The Grey Knights are basically
exactly the same.
anti-demonic forces with their armour threaded through with psychoactive circuitry, and the Dread Knights in particular were made to combat the most horrific monsters, namely greater demons.
What?
Now,
What's happened to the... What has happened?
Dread Knight kit.
It is indeed. We've had the rules for a Grandmaster in a Dread Knight for a little while, but now we've actually got a full kit to represent the most heroic heroes of the Grey Knights in a Dread Knight ready to fight those greater demons, with weapon upgrades including the Subliminator, the huge Psychic Melter, and a Nemesis Mace, which is what this thing has in common, massive Psychic Blunt Force Trauma, which can destroy enemies. There's also a Nemesis Flail, which is sort of like a Morning Star version as well, which is coming here as well. So
the guy we already saw for the Death Guard.
That guy, and a great
some robots for the Thousand
kit.
Suns.
It's basically like the Nemesis Dread Knight kit with an upgrade screw in there as well to make it into a Grey Knight Grandmaster, which is just cool.
And then,
in terms of the Codex, Grey Knight players can expect to see rules like Gate of Infinity still there, slightly tweaked. We've got 5 detachments in there covering lots of different army styles, including the Sanctic Spearhead, which covers vehicles and walkers. So you have an army with Dreadnoughts and Dreadnoughts if you want to, which is great. And in Crusade, you can stave off Chaos incursions with the aid of vision sent to you by the Prognosticars, which is cool. I like the sound of that.
Now, speaking of
and they've upgraded the baby carrier.
The Grey Knights have foreseen an
but
invasion
it's
of a
still a
world that has
monopose
previously been invaded by the world
piece of shit.
Of course, this is the new Crusade
like,
book, Armageddon.
Yes.
And
That's
Armageddon
not an upgrade.
is a
it's
war
still
zone
not
that will
good.
be
Like, it's still not a good
players.
model.
Alex, why is Armageddon such a big deal?
Still
well, it's been the site of many horrific invasions. Now, the world stands directly
borderline
in the path of one of the Blood Crusades. It's splintered on all killed territories in Golgotha. However, they've descended to plague the whole
God, this
now,
feels
the
like
amount
a horrible
of
fumble.
blood that has been spilt has basically
this feels like a horrible fumble for the 40k stuff.
Merged into Armageddon, and as such, the Conqueror has heeded the call and arrived.
It just doesn't.
So
it feels like they don't have anything, even though they do.
But they're faced with regiments of the Death Corps, Logan Grimness Space Wolves, High Marshal Helbrecht's Black Templars, and
but it's just
been
brushed over, just like
invasion. This is so cool. What a great way to kick off the new Warzone. And this actual book itself, it's a Crusade book, and if you've never played Crusade before, it's a wonderful way of linking your games together in a narrative sense, where your forces get enhancements or your units get upgrades as you go along, and it's a really cool way of playing 40k. If you've never played, I seriously recommend. We're playing at the moment, and it's great fun. You can either choose to defend Armageddon, to attack Armageddon, or perhaps be one of the third. You know why there's no. Not quite sure which side you're going to represent. Maybe you'll decide later on. And there's a tree campaign inside the book for all those 3 factions as
nearly
they sort of
3 o'clock in the morning.
The battle to the
they're trying to do it live.
Of Armageddon. It's great. We've got Crusade badges in there. There's a focus on epic heroes, mighty deeds, fighting hellscapes as the barriers between warp and reality just merge. And what's really cool as well is there's rules for unbound demons flocking to your game as sort of non-player characters sort of running in and just taking both sides and just causing complete havoc as there's a demonic concursion on Armageddon, which is just great. So yeah, seriously, Armageddon Crusade coming very soon.
Of all the models to
do you know what?
Armageddon
does sound pretty cool.
Yeah, and it doesn't look any different.
It sounds this cool.
Planet Armageddon. An imperial
That's the thing, the models are decent. We didn't really get to see them very much. And they didn't really talk about them that much either. Weird. Okay, well at least we'll be able to take more.
Now our blood god's followers swarm across the planet's ravaged surface. On the brink of annihilation, the world's defenders issue a desperate plea for aid.
Putting the baby carrier in shot after Angron is brutal for that model. Oh. Oh. Space Wolf action. Okay. Right. Oh yeah, right. Yeah, it's going on section.
The Adeptus Astartes must halt the demonic tide.
Sure. Yeah, it all went to the wolves.
That was incredible,
Wow.
and everybody there will have noticed a whole new raft of Space Wolves.
Oh, they're here. The Space Wolves are here. We've been
I
waiting
am
for
kind
a
of
long time.
impressed
And
that
it's
they
great to see a fantastic new
have
range of
done a
miniatures
proper
coming your
refresh
way
on the
for the
Space
Space
Wolves.
Wolves.
That is nice to see.
Let's take a look because, I mean,
But
look
if
at
ever
these.
it's going to hammer home
It's just
that the
we've
Grey
waited,
Knights
we've
need
waited
the
and
same
waited,
treatment,
and here
this
they
is
are.
gonna do it.
This, in particular, what we're seeing right now is the Space Wolves Army launch set coming to you soon. Included in there is
Okay.
the new Wolf
So
Priest,
we've
the new
got-
Battle Leader, the new Head Takers, the Blood Claws, and the Grey Hunters.
Head
We're all
Takers
getting
are
new
fun.
miniatures there. We'll talk about all of these. They got the new Codex in there as well.
And Blood
Oh
Claws.
wow!
All right.
What a force! And let's have a look at some of the models a bit closer, shall we?
And their version of
Starting off
Assault
with the
Intercessors.
Wolf Priest.
I'm assuming
Now,
they're Assault Intercessors.
my compatriot Simon here tells me that aside from a random Games Day miniature some 20 years ago, this is the first time Games Workshop has done a Wolf Priest miniature. So it's great to see. And I'm right in thinking this is a
the
kind of
first
mix between
time
an
they've done a
apothecary and a
Wolf
chaplain.
Priest.
Indeed, their duties are to observe the warring tribes of Fenris,
Outside of a
and
Games
to sort of
Day
select
miniature?
potential
Is that
aspirants.
true?
They harvest gene seed, they tend to
They've
the
got
wounded,
to
but
do-
they're also spiritual
Surely
advisors,
not.
preparing their brothers for mental and spiritual trials.
It's really nice. This model's actually got quite a few options here as well. You've got head options, helmeted, bare heads as well. In
literally
game,
Googling this,
you
'cause
can
that doesn't seem like it's
restore
correct.
wounds to units that
But
you've
then
joined,
again-
and also add one to melee wound rolls, the Litany of Hates. It's got rules from both the Apothecarium and the Chaplaincy as well, which is just cool. Also in the box set, we've got another leader, the Wolfguard Battle Leader. Might be my favourite model of the box, this one.
Actually,
It's so cool. Again, lots of options
Ulrich the
here.
Slayer was
Helmeted,
named,
bare
wasn't
heads,
he? So
different weapon options
technically-
as well. Who are the Wolfguard Battle Leaders?
So these guys are members of the
20
Wolfguard,
years
and they're
ago.
deputized into
Jesus.
leading warriors on the battlefield. They're essentially the equivalent
That
of
looks good.
A Space Marine
That's
lieutenant.
nice. Hello,
They're
Goof. How
typically
you doing?
temporary positions, but a war can last years.
Yeah, the shields are
decades.
nice.
So temporary is an odd term to use. They've got access to ancient and powerful relics from the Great Company's armory, and when the Wolf Lord falls, it is from amongst these Wolfguard that his replacement is found. So giving them experience in these leadership roles is invaluable.
You want
Wonder how
these
many
guys
people
leading
were
your units
assuming
into
that Lehman
combat,
Russ would
specifically
shoulder this
your
lot.
Wolfguard Head Takers, your Grey Hunters, or your
Yeah,
Blood
new
Claws,
lieutenant.
which is the next new unit we're going to have a look at here. Look at
You
these.
gotta have
What a
one.
great update
You
on an
gotta have one.
iconic Space Wolf unit. These guys are the sort of the newer Space Wolves. Loads of options all over the kit, including different heads and things as well. They're wearing slightly lighter armour than other Marines
like
as
the
well,
heads.
so they
The
look
heads
like
look
they're a
good.
bit newer. That suits their
Those
background.
little
Yeah,
bits
they're
of
young and
decoration
impetuous, and they need to
on, like,
prove
pauldrons
themselves,
and
temper
stuff is
themselves in
nice.
battle. Like
Oh,
all
my voice
chapters,
is going,
training
can
is
you hear
harsh
that?
and extensive, but battlefield experience is the most valuable, and so the Blood Claws are not discouraged from taking up positions in the vanguard.
That's
Reset
pretty
the
cool.
clock.
Now, as Blood Claws have been in the past, these guys are combat centric, carrying their Astartes chainsword and their bolt pistol.
Okay.
But the big news here is,
There's
like
still
all
not as
Space
much
Wolf
decoration
infantry in
as,
Tacticus armor, they are movement
the
7. So they're
primarisation
faster than other
of
Space Marines because they're desperate to get
Space
into
Wolves is a
combat.
shame
They're
in
cunning
that
hunters
you
as well,
lose
allowing
a
them to
lot of
reroll ones to
customisation.
wound.
You
If
lose
the
a lot of
target
the
is in range of
kind
an
of
objective, they can
additional
reroll all wounds, which is
gubbins
pretty
that they
cool.
have.
Just like the Grey
But they
Hunters,
look
who
decent.
are the other iconic Space Wolf unit, which we are seeing
do
new
look
models
decent.
for here as well. Again, all plastic, loads of options for the pack leader, lots of options all over the kit to really personalise your Marines, which is perfect for the Grey Hunters, as they're more the
Oh, you
veteran
know, I
Marines.
didn't
aren't
even
they?
Yeah, so
clock
they've
they
survived
had,
long enough as Blood Claws to become Grey
bolters,
Hunters,
like
and this is when the Canis Helix is
full-size
really
bolters and
presenting a bit more
chainsaws.
apparently. So they've got
Oh, yeah,
grey
lightning claw.
hairs,
Good call.
fangs, rougher skin, all of those like canine developments that we love with the Space
God,
Wolves.
Grey
They're
Hunters were the
really
best.
closely bonded units
True
that work
grit.
independently or as part of a larger force. They're stalwart and reliable and hold that sort of fire akin to
Yeah,
the
this
Blood
is looking
Claws. They're
pretty
a
cool for the Space
core
Wolves.
part of your Space Wolf force.
Absolutely cool. These guys are great
am
at
liking the
everything. They have
additional-
Astartes chainswords, so
additional
they can pack a
gubbins.
punch
That's
in
making me
combat.
happy.
Each Marine carries a bolt carbine, allowing them to fire up to 3
Yeah,
shots
the
a
mixing of
piece.
armour marks
The
on some
pack
of
leader
these
can have
is
a power fist or a
interesting as
power
well.
weapon. But the
Well,
big
they might have
news
the Mark
here,
X
as
armour,
well as the
but
fact that
there's a
they
few
can
different
move
helmets
7
going
inches
on.
like the Blood Claws, is that this unit are OC3
Which is a good- I mean, that's fun,
apiece,
that's a good
which
call,
makes
I
them
like
absolutely
that.
perfect for holding and capturing objectives from the enemy.
There was a
They are
beefier, you got a
absolutely
Mark
core,
7.
and I hate to admit it, but they might be one of the best core battle line units in the Imperial forces. So yeah, get
Interesting.
your hands on or your claws on some of these if you possibly can.
Interesting.
Up next, we've got the elites of the force, the Head Takers,
I like
and
that
their
a lot.
hunting wolves.
So the head takers tend to be from those Wolfguard who still retain
feel
some of
the
their
right amount
youthful
of unique.
recklessness.
Yes.
And they specialise in hunting
Oh,
down
yeah,
enemy
oh,
champions,
tell you what, though, yeah,
beasts, warlords, Those Fenrisian wolves with them are closely bonded to them.
Death
And it's
Company
so
crying,
strong
Henry.
that it's
I mean,
almost as if they act as one.
He's making
like
the
an
Death Company
instinctive
look a little bit like
These are elite infantry, similar to Blade Guard veterans you might recognise from the Space Marines.
Yeah,
they have loads of options. There's
like you've got,
9
like, an
interchangeable head
increasing
options in the
scale
kit for your bare
of
helmeted or,
customisation as well.
or your bare
Or,
heads
like,
or your helmeted.
uniqueness.
There's lots of bare heads in the Space Wolf kits, which is great because that really suits them. You can give these guys different weapon options. They can come with a mastercrafted power weapon and shield, or a pair of mastercrafted power weapons for 6 attacks apiece. The head takers and hunting wolves fight as separate units on the battlefield, which is quite interesting. So you can run them around separately. You were talking about this sort of going for the big monsters and the champions
really
there.
like
Before the game, you select one enemy
excellent,
unit
the shields are very cool.
to be your
Love the
quarry,
axes.
and they get devastating wounds and precision when targeting that quarry. And when they've killed
very
it,
good heads as
they
well.
just select a
Some
new
very
unit
good
and a
heads.
new quarry, which is terrifying. Of course, inside this box, we're also seeing the Space Wolves Codex supplement as well. Like I said, this is in conjunction with the Space Marines Codex as well.
I'm
But
actually
it
kind
contains full background on Space
I'm
Wolves
being
faction,
sold on this.
the colour section with loads of
light just
cool
died.
shots
Could
of
you tell?
miniatures, army
Yeah,
rules,
I've
everything
gone
you expect from the
dark.
Codex, of course. There
The
are
light
3
just collapsed.
detachments
Awesome.
inside,
Cool.
each with their own theme and their own saga to complete. Complete your saga and get additional rules, which is really cool. And in Crusade, there are new Oathsworn campaigns, expanding on those in Space Marines Codex. So the Space Wolf theme saga to complete, earn deeds of making, exclusive battle traits, scars, agendas, everything else you expect from
There we go,
Crusade.
replacement light.
Indeed,
sort
my
of.
favourite little aspect often of these codexes is the little asides, the little addendums that are added to it. And there's a
doesn't
quote
work.
from an Inquisitor here that I think really sums them up. They are deviants all, these Space Wolves, uncouth and lacking in honour, informal and without discipline. They respond with contempt
first
to
one was
direct
Iron
orders,
Warriors, but I
scoff
had
at Lord
13th
Gilliman's
Company.
Codex Astartes, and treat the orders of Imperial commanders with contempt.
I had a 13th
And I
Company
think
army that I
sums them
absolutely
up
loved. I would love to
Yeah,
make
and
a
an awful lot of
13th
Space Wolf
Company
players
army
I've met
again.
as well, to be fair.
Just gonna
You know
quickly
who you
throw
guys
some
are.
out there.
Well, that's an incredible range of miniatures coming for the Space
There you
Wolves.
go.
And what's more, that's not all. There's going to be more coming
I
as
don't know
well.
why I'm still-
We just haven't
this is a
shown you
terrible
everything
idea.
yet. Expect some more
It's 3 o'clock
characters,
in the
some
morning.
more elite units coming too.
Why-
but
what are
keep
we
your
doing,
acute
gang?
senses fixed on Warhammer Community website, where you can get to see more of those in the very near future. So that's great news for Space Wolf players.
it's
But
absolutely
that range
fantastic.
refresh
That
you've been
is
looking
fun.
for,
That's
and it's
good.
here.
That's good. The
Congratulations,
Space
guys.
Wolves,
But let's
good.
have a look now over to Question Corner. Ed, folks have got to be happy about the Space Wolves, right? Surely.
They are indeed. There's lots of love for Space Wolves. Space Wolf related question though is: do we know if Thunderwolf?
does the whole
Cavalry
year
are
of
still
chaos
going to be
thing feels
riding
weird
across
now.
the battlefield?
So we're not going to
feels
answer any
weird.
questions
I'm
about that
not
right
sure.
now because the Warhammer Community
I'm not
website is
sure
going
that
to give
it
you more
is.
details about
No.
what's going to be included in the Codex coming forward. There's loads of articles coming
Yeah,
about
what are
that.
you gonna
So
do?
just keep your eyes on Warhammer Community for now, and all your questions will be answered right there on the website. And sign
Well,
up for the
you're going to
newsletter
hope
if
for
you haven't
more,
already.
but
definitely.
Yeah, but a couple of questions that have been asked since actually before the stream started, and they've
Okay.
been
Lehman team.
asked throughout. So
Eager.
it's time to come through.
Maybe.
Imperial Knights, obviously on the last roadmap, they appeared
it's
as
true,
one of the
Hermit.
next
It's-
codexes. Now
very
so
much a
we've
me
got
problem.
Chaos sort of coming at a similar time. When can we see Imperial Knights? Do we think?
We will answer that momentarily.
Ooh,
Oh, okay, okay.
Still to
Cheeky.
come,
Interesting.
essentially. Chaos Knights. Do you know if they're ever getting a named character? That's another question that's been asked since the beginning.
Well, I mean, I'm going to be real pedantic here, but in White Dwarf 509,
I
they
will
got 2
say
named
as well,
characters in the combat patrol.
Normally,
so there we
these
go.
are
They already
a
exist.
bit
As for
short.
other named characters in the future,
These
I don't
previews.
know, to be honest with you. Again, keep your eyes on Warcom.
It's
If
already
we
been
haven't
an
talked about
hour.
it here, we can't mention it yet. Warhammer Community's got all
So-
the information you've got.
Yeah, so tied
Is
into
this
that,
gonna be the
again,
wrap-up?
questions about the release dates, the limited edition codexes.
Or do we have a little
again,
bit
the same
more?
thing, it'll be announced on Warcom. Another question about them though is: are they all releasing at the same time, or are they staggered?
Are we going to have a little bit more? Because
Ooh,
that'd be
that's a good
nice.
question. We know the Army launch set's going to be released as itself, but then we'll see other stuff coming out later on
Bilgoth,
as well.
you've got to
Release
remember
dates and everything
that
completely
Armageddon's
up to
still
other people
Legion.
other than us. Again, Warhammer
They're not
Community
Space
and the
Marines.
social media channels are the place to look for that. And I
They're
know
not- they're not Space
we've got
Marines.
burning questions we want to answer,
So-
guys. We can't say everything quite yet, but keep your eyes on Warhammer Community. That's the place to look.
Why would you show anything
Do you
like
have
that
a
off?
potential law-based
Why
question?
would you
Obviously,
even
we're
do
coming
Steel
back to
Legion anyway?
Armageddon.
We've got
Wouldn't
Death
be
Core
Armageddon
Creed now.
without
Basically the
old
same
man
thing.
Garrick. Now, is he still around in the law?
That was a joke. That was a joke.
As we saw,
It was clearly
from
a
the,
joke.
Astra
Don't take that
Militarum
seriously.
Codex a while back, Yarrick is, as far as the Imperium is concerned, deceased. There was a great memorial for him.
There we
So
go.
unfortunately, no.
Well, at least, it's
Yeah,
a
Yarrick's
pretty
dead.
hard no.
He's gone.
Read the Codex Astra Militarum. It's
There was
pretty
a
decisive.
there was a
Yeah,
body.
Dirt Hermit. My kids will
Sorry,
be
guys.
awake
He's an old
in
man no longer.
probably 3.5 hours. So,
Hope that answers that, but maybe not the way you wanted to speak. I
rip
guess.
me.
Anything else, Ed?
Yeah, again, there's just lots of questions about, new minis, what might be coming next. So again, all those will just still be.
Do you know what?
Check out Warcom.
We would love to answer all those questions, guys.
Yes.
And as hobbyists ourselves, we totally understand. But
Here's the thing,
we can't say everything
Krieg-
right now. Just keep your eyes on the Warhammer website and you'll see.
Krieg
In
and
fact,
Steel Legion, they've
should we
both
take
got
a look
long
right
hopes
now,
and gas
a little
masks.
look
They are
further
basically
ahead
the same thing.
at what might be coming next for Warhammer 40,000?
Okay, more Warhammer
So
40k.
coming up
Is
first,
this where the
we've
Year
got
of Chaos
the
comes
1,000
into
Suns.
play?
They're going
Oh
to
no,
be
wait,
marching
no,
with those
we've
new
got
Sector robots. Then we've got the
1,000
Space
Suns.
Wolves howling in. The World Eaters. Finally, the Death Guard are going to make a slow trudge up the
Okay.
field.
They're coming quite soon as well. It's
All
saying right now on the
Mm-hmm.
screen, so they're coming real soon, which is
The
good news for
robot
all
is
you Chaos
cool. Why
fans
didn't they
and
spend
Space
more
Wolf
time
fans.
talking about it or showing it?
Now, what's coming next? We've got the Black Templars, we've got the Grey
that
Knights, the
Black
Chaos
Templar
Knights, and
artwork is
Imperial
so
Knights
off.
are stomping over the
How
horizon.
long
as
is
we
that
speak.
dude's neck?
And then a little bit further on, these are 3 more factions
I
coming.
thought we were
Now,
going to see some salamander
pretty sure I
stuff.
can guess at least
to be
2 of
honest.
these.
Yeah, me too, but they are definitely interesting.
I thought that's what we were
And
going to
in the
see, and then
far,
that's
far
not what we saw.
future, something's coming
most
in
of
a
it
shadowy
good.
shape.
You've missed
What
quite
could
a
it be?
lot.
Let us know in the chat what you think that could be, because I've got a couple of theories, certainly.
The future. I
What
mean,
do you reckon? I reckon
what do you
there's a few
mean?
theories.
What that
Yeah,
could be?
me too. So there we go. That's what's coming for the future for Warhammer 40,000.
It's either a space
we've got
marine
just
or
there
it's
time for
a
a couple
guy
more
who's
questions.
otherwise
Is
a
there anything
space
else that's
marine,
burning? People want to
but
know.
bigger.
There's a lot of questions about Warcry. Where we're at with the current
Might be
edition.
Votan at a push.
Obviously, we've
but
still
it
got
looked
Warcry
like a space
miniatures
marine.
out at the moment. We've got any updates on Warcry?
Nothing to
Literally
report at the
just a
moment.
space
Again,
marine.
keep your eyes on one. It's going to be the same answer pretty much. Just keep your eyes on one community for
Just
all
like the
updates.
shadow hovering around.
That sort of thing. Anything else, Ed, at all? Maybe?
Yeah, are these Thousand Suns automatons related to Vashtor?
Space
And
cave.
across the dock?
That'd be great.
Ooh, time will tell.
Time will tell. Vashtor, of course, is the sort of the dark mechanic of the Chaos Forces, right?
Imperial
Yeah.
Knights
Have you
when?
perhaps built them, maybe?
No.
Oh,
I don't
these,
know.
None of that.
these are ancient robots,
Oh,
so
okay.
these have been around
None
for a
of
very
that.
long time. But that's not to
Lieutenant
say
Codex,
that
I'd buy
Vashtor
it.
isn't going to have some
That's
sort
not
of
true,
hand
I
in
wouldn't buy it.
anything technological. He's happily shown up in the Pariah Nexus. Obviously, he's got wormwood. It wouldn't surprise me if his claws got all over
Warcry's
the place.
hibernating.
There we go. Do you know what? That's been an absolutely brilliant show. We've seen some fantastic releases, some fantastic
Right,
previews coming
I'll
up.
say it. For
We
this,
saw
for
the
this
Old
preview,
World.
they peaked
We saw
really
Kill
early.
Team.
Oh, yes.
They
Space
peaked
Wolves,
really
all
early
those
with
40k
Cathay.
releases,
And
the
then
Chaos factions.
Yeah, the new Spearhead.
We saw
coming. Well,
Crew
might as well. What's
coasted
been
for
your
a bit.
favourite of the show?
The Chaos reveals were bizarre.
I'm awfully tempted by the Ravenous
But
and
the
that Kill
Space
Team
Wolves
box,
do
but I
look cool.
think it's going to have to be the Grand Cathayan Dragon.
Yeah,
That
beautiful
upgrade
model.
kit
And
for the
me, I
baby
think I'm a
carrier
Spearhead fan,
is
so
the
I'm really looking forward to see
definition
it playing
of
Sand and Bone. And
like,
I can't wait to see someone
not
paint
being
some
able
lovely
to
Space
polish a
Wolves as well.
turd, but
It's
rolling
going to be
it
good.
in glitter.
It's been an absolute blast. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us here on the preview show. Just a quick one. If you want to see any
And the
more
back-to-back
pictures and
shots
information about
of
what
the
we've shown
baby
here today,
carrier
make sure you
and
go into the
Angron
Warhammer Community website where you can
was
have a look
honestly
at
an
some more
attack on
pictures
that model.
and check out more
It's
information.
amazing
And
that
also
they
sign
did
up to the
that.
newsletter there as well, which is
Because
where
they
you'll get
must
all the
have
first
known
information.
that
You can sign up to our
showing
social
those
media,
two,
which is again
one
where you'll see
after
loads
the
of
other,
pictures. You can
was
see
not
on
gonna
Facebook,
make
YouTube,
the
Instagram,
baby
and
carrier
X.
look good.
Sign up there and get
was
all the
not gonna
information
make 'em look
straight
good,
to
you know?
And also this weekend at Adepticon we have other streams
Lipstick
coming
on a
right here on
pig
Twitch
that
as
is
well.
suffering from
So if you want
complete
to see the Warhammer 40,000
paralysis.
Championship or the Warhammer 40,000 team tournaments, they're all being streamed over the next 4 days up until Sunday. So do check them out right
And the
here
baby
on
carrier
Twitch.
deserves
Thanks
it.
to everyone involved behind the scenes,
Oh,
behind
dear.
the camera. Those of you in the chat, not Lee, you're absolute legend. Thank you so much indeed.
A rough
Alex,
review
it's
stream
been a
from
real
friend that
pleasure.
plays Paul Leaders and Grey
I think that's it,
Knights.
guys. I think we're signing out.
Yep.
Thank you so much
Yeah,
for
the
joining us,
old world
guys. I'll
won the
see you next time.
preview.
Cheers.
Goodbye.
Absolutely won the preview. Amazing. Right, go away. The AOS stuff was kind of fine as well, but I don't want them to kill the baby carrier. I want them to make one that isn't crap. The baby carrier is fine in like premise. It's just badly executed. Cathay was fantastic. Really was. Absolutely solid reveal. The kill team stuff as well was fine. But it really feels like you know what it is? They took us on a journey. Right? They took us on a journey. We saw the Wood Elves and we saw the Beastmen. Nothing new for either of them. Just old models all round. It was just, here's a bunch of stuff you've already seen and you've been able to buy for years. Then you couldn't buy them for a bit. Now you can buy them again. Congratulations. Like, it started off slow, But then they hit us with the all-plastic, brand-new Grand Cathay, full of insanely good sculpts, full of great characters. Also, the colour scheme they chose was excellent. Really highlighted how nice the models were. Then they did Kill Team. And Kill Team was pretty cool. Proper Tyranid Kill Team and Adeptus Mechanicus Kill Team facing off. Like, that was a decent reveal. But then AOS was a bit lackluster. Mostly Spearhead. Well, pretty much all Spearhead. And some of the Spearheads look fine, but they're not, like, new models, right? They're not, like, fancy new stuff. And then the energy was just off. The vibes were bad for Chaos. I don't know how else to put it. The vibes weren't there. The vibes weren't there for Chaos. The new character was glossed over really quickly, which is an odd choice. The robots, it felt like, were barely touched on, despite being quite a big development. Like, that's a significant change from the rest of that faction. And they were just like, yeah, there's cool robots, they're really tough. Anyway, onto the Imperium. Just odd, just bizarre. Bizarre approach. They spent way too much time talking about the fancy codexes. Don't spend a bunch of time talking about the thing that only 1,600 people can buy. Right? That's not... What was the time split on that? What was the point? And then Grey Knights was hilarious. So I'll give them points for comedy value there. But Space Wolves look solid. So they finished out relatively strong. But yeah, just an odd... Just a bit... Yeah, odd. Interesting. Not how I saw that going, to be totally honest with you. Ramp up the FOMO. Oh yeah, you got to ramp it up real good. I am so badly lit right now. This stupid light. The battery life on it, it turns out, is hot trash. Like it's already gone. How is it dead? I've been using it for like half a day, if that. It's been on for maybe 2 hours total. Naff. I don't think Games Workshop care much for anything that isn't Space Marines. Well, I don't know that that's necessarily true, but for this particular stream, at least, I don't know that they felt like they had much outside of Space Marines, to be honest. The robots in, like, putting those in Space Marine 2, that would be kind of fun. Although, do we need more tanky missile launcher using, like, pain in the backside enemies? I don't know that we do. Yeah, that was a longer stream they've done recently as well. Which is a real shame, because it's, you know, really late. Oh, there you go. Lights working again. Do you not like how there were 1 or 2 Space Wars models were painted in that reveal show? Yeah, I'm like, I feel like you could have stopped after the Cathay thing, and you probably would have been all right, honestly. But could have been worse. There's been worse reveal shows. There have been worse ones. Seems weird to push codexes when they're repeatedly and routinely out of date within weeks. Yeah, that too. Actually. See you later, Merlin. Thank you for dropping in. Okay. I've got to be up in a few hours. Because my children will be awake in... yeah, like 3 hours 20 probably. If you have anything you would like to say, do so now. Doreen is active. You want to make her say something? Now's the time to do it. If someone wants to see Necromund Pork, 5 gifted memberships, you can have gifted pork. You can have Necromund Pork before we turn the stream off and go to sleep. I'll give you a few moments. Yeah, the Codexes should be law books. But the rules are just out of date all the time. Constantly, immediately. They're just not good for that. It's just no longer a good format. Like, they issue stuff. They issue changes before the things are out sometimes, it feels like, so... Cosmoverse, what do you mean? What do you mean, excuse me? Do you not know what Necromundan pork is? Because there's only one way to find out. But yeah, not the best one. Not the best one, but at least we got Cathay. Cathay looked solid. Cathay was a rare thing where it's a system I don't play, and I want every single model. I just don't want to paint it. It is possibly the issue there. I really don't want to paint it, but I do want to own it. The great conundrum. Ugh. Right. What is Necromundan pork? It's art. It's a short video that is played whenever someone gifts 5 memberships or above. That's how that works. It is literally a short video. It's silly, but it is fun. I couldn't possibly comment, Jude. Couldn't possibly comment. It was born out of one of my favourite adverts that's ever been
Overall,
made.
I don't feel it was worth staying up when I have work tomorrow. Just like every time. So, see you next time.
Jason.
Bring back the adventures of Mahogany Staircase.
You know what, Goof? That's not a bad idea, to be honest. That would be quite funny. How much do you dislike the new Khorne 8-bound character? It was fine. Like, it was fine. It was fine. It was like it just looks like 8-bound again, but one of the chainswords is all weird and fleshy. The 8-bound are okay. They're pretty brutal, which is fun, but yeah, it just didn't really do anything for me, you know. I don't think it's bad. Just also not really blowing me away. You mean the model that will get lost in his unit? Well, there is also that. As a unique character goes, not all that unique, which could be seen as a little bit of a problem. Looks like a kit bash version. I mean, there's a little bit of that as well, to be honest. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not averse to the idea of an 8-bound character, but I feel like it just is a bit too similar. It's just nothing. There's no standout feature, you know? But then again, I guess when you look at some of the other stuff available for the other, like, god-specific factions, they have characters that are just, here's something you already have, but slightly different, and he's no different in that respect. But yeah, I don't know. I think maybe for me the 8-bound aren't that fascinating anyway. So in an army full of angry dudes with chainswords and chain axes and the like, the 8-bound are more slightly bigger, angry dudes with chain swords and chain axes and the like. So it's not. They never feel like they particularly stand out in a big group, you know. Which, I mean, it's World Eaters. That's kind of what they are. They are primarily angry dudes with a chain axe or a chainsword, which is fine, and that's how the army is. But I feel like there needs to be a little more variety than that, and it doesn't feel like there is a lot of the time. So just adding another one in a very similar vein, that's why it doesn't really do much for me, you know. Right, okay. I am actually going to go to bed now. So, if you haven't watched the ship video, then please do. I will even drop a link so you can save it for tomorrow, those of you who are going to bed right now. Because good grief. Some of us, you know, need our sleep. But I worked very, very hard on it. So, the more people who watch it, the more nice it is for me. Nightwing, oh, member for 6 months. Hero. They put all their effort into Emperor's Children and just phoned in the other god-specific legions, and someone went, oh, Grey Knights are a thing. Well, that's maybe not entirely wrong, to be honest. Oh, hang on. Redirect into that video. Oh, God, how do I do that? I've never done that before. You can do that? Is this where it turns out that I don't know how to stream properly either? I mean, we kind of already knew that anyway, didn't we? We already knew that. Yeah, I've got no idea how to... I've got no idea how to do that at all. So, next time. Next time we'll do that. Terrible. It's going to be something super simple as well. That's usually how these things work, isn't it? It's like, okay, how does one? And then you look at it and go, oh, it turns out it was so easy. Oh, wait. Wait. You can do it. Why is it suggesting a stream from ages ago? No matching results for something I uploaded today. Cool. Alright. Nice. Add a live stream or a premiere for people to watch after yours ends. Ah, that's why. Never mind. Okay. We gave it a go. It didn't work. I'm going to bed. What an instant collapse that was. Okay. Thank you for watching, everyone. It sort of fell off a cliff at the end there, but there was still some good stuff. So that's fine. There will be another video about the Cathay stuff probably tomorrow. So I will do that then. And that's for those of you who don't want to watch this stream, but you've already watched this stream, so you probably won't watch that. So I don't really know why I'm doing it. Or saying it. Okay. Terrible outro. Bye.